Psycho Sexy Super Magic. Thank you, SNSD, because that song's ridiculous lyrics. What's up, everyone? It's Nate from Truly Daebak with another episode of the DaebakCast. This is episode 125, I believe. I did not double check that,
That sounds
but
right.
pretty sure it's 125. As always, this is a podcast about K-pop and Korean culture, pop culture mostly. Occasionally we do dramas and movies and other stuff, but it's mostly K-pop. If you want to talk to us, check out Discord. This is the second week in a row we've had our Discord mods guesting, who I will introduce in a second. But yeah, definitely come check it out. It's a good place to talk to all of us, including Baron and Sam. And just hang out, learn about K-pop, find out about groups that you don't know about. And yeah, just hang out with us. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like the video, comment, do all that stuff. Follow us on iTunes, Spotify, review us, do all that stuff that I'm not remembering right now because it's been a week off and I'm rusty. Okay, let's move on. Like I said, we have two guests. Obviously, Jacob and Andrew are normal co-hosts. They're not here this week. Jacob's still in Korea and busy. It's just hard to get him to have time and a place to record because he's in a dorm with a roommate, and he's also like 13 hours ahead of us, so like our times are switched and it's all weird and annoying. But he's coming back in a couple of weeks, so he should be back on regularly once he gets home. And Andrew is really busy with work, so he's gonna take a couple weeks off. So if we can't find anyone else to record, you might see Baron and Sam next week too, if they can record. So yeah, but I have two guests here who at this point might not end up being the regular guests, I guess, if you're gonna be here 3 weeks in a row. But we have Baron, one of our Discord mods, and Sam. Baron's known for his snake avatar, and Sam does our song ratings.
Howdy.
So.
Hello.
That's all you guys got?
That's
you
all
guys never figured out fancy intros, but that's fine. You don't need them.
Maybe for the third time, you know.
The third time you'll get something.
Yeah.
You just hold up your cat and that would work.
Yeah. He's right here.
Okay. So yeah, we have one review this week and 3 discussion topics, which is a lot more than we have been having lately. So hopefully you enjoy discussion topics. If you don't, I'm sorry. And if you do, like, it's not our fault that there wasn't anything to review this week anyway. So, but we got some big news to deal with. But first, we're going to start off with topic 1. I guess we didn't talk about order. But what order did you guys do last week?
Ladies first.
Okay. So I guess we'll start with Sam again, and then Baron, and then me.
Sure,
but do you not want to go first? Because I always go first, so.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
It's whatever.
So yeah, we'll do Sam, Baron, me, and then I'll read Cooper and Jacob's.
Okay.
But yeah, topic 1, our first topic is our review, and that is ATEEZ new mini album Treasure, episode 3, One to All. And we're starting off with Utopia. So go ahead, Sam.
All right. So yeah, Utopia. It's funny, after listening to this album a few times, I've come to the conclusion that this was my favorite song on the album. I actually think it's a really good song. I think my only critique I have of the song is the every day, every night part. I thought it felt a little like screechy to me at some points. I think it would have been better if how they did it was they started it lower for longer and then they like built on top. They like stack it a bit because their main vocalist like does it like up the octave, and it's like crazy that he does that. It's really good, but I would have liked more of a build to it. And let's see what else. Oh, this is one thing I think I commented almost every song on this album is they do a lot of woes.
Yeah.
In all the songs. They
really like those.
They definitely did.
Went nuts with this album. Like I listened to their other stuff to see that's just a common ATEEZ thing. It doesn't sound like it. They did it in Say My Name.
Yeah.
It was really good there. And I mean, I love it. it was just kind of funny. It's like every song I was like, oh, they're doing it again. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
But
every
I
song
mean,
has, almost every song has it on this album for some
yeah,
reason.
I mean, it's really cool. It's a cool effect. I mean, yeah, their main vocalist, I guess it's Jungo, that's how you say his name. I mean, he's really good. And because it's, I don't know, I was trying to look up if it's like a group of them doing it. It looks like in this song, it's like him doing it and also like stacking on top of himself. I don't know if that's true. I didn't
Hmm.
like
Okay, yeah,
really
like
research it,
yeah,
but
layering his own voice over and over.
yeah. And I mean, I've really just fell in love with him throughout this album. It's like I feel like every song I was just commenting on how great of a vocalist he is. Like, I don't know. I think it's lately, it's been a while since I've like really just heard a vocalist in a K-pop album and go like, wow, they're amazing. Like, I need to figure out like more about them. But he was one of those people where I just had to know like who he was and what he was
Yeah.
doing. And then another part I thought was really good about the song was I just loved like the ending. I don't know, like they had some like piano and some strings going,
Yeah.
and they had like the whoa still going and like kind of like a bass hitting still. I just thought that was really powerful. It was such a great way to end the song because I don't know. I think I even mentioned this last week. I think ending like the ending of a song is sometimes the most like important part because
Hmm.
it's what makes you want to re-listen to it, you know? And that's what like that ending to me just made me want to like re-listen because it felt like it was just so like satisfying. I don't know. It was really good. Oh, there's another thing in my notes. They do like the woes at the end, and Jungkook does it, and it's totally to the tune of Journey's "Faithfully."
Oh, really?
Like,
I didn't notice
yeah,
that,
it's
but I
the
love that song.
exact same, except in Journey's song they go up, and like the last woe he goes down.
Okay.
But I just remember thinking, I was like, wait, this is literally the Journey
It's
song.
Faithfully. I'll have to
Yeah,
re-listen to it because I didn't notice that. And
it is
Faithfully
like,
is
yeah, at the very
my
end, because he
favorite.
does it, and then like the group does it, and then he does it one last time and goes down instead of like doing the like octave jump. But I don't know, I thought that was, I mean, love Faithfully, so I loved it here.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much all I had to say of this song. It was a really good song. I liked it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I listened to the whole album a couple times before I watched any of the music videos, and
Hmm.
I just assumed this was one of the title tracks because I was like, it's usually like the first song. Usually, the song I end up liking the most is usually one of the title tracks,
Okay.
and I kind of just assumed this is definitely my favorite track on the mini,
Hmm.
and I kind of just assumed this was going to be one of them. So like when I went to go look up the music videos later, I was like, why can I not find this music video? And then I
They didn't even
realized,
do a live stage of it. It's like the one song in this
yeah.
album they didn't do a
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
stage of. So
So
disappointing.
very confused by that. I think I mentioned last week the same thing as you, Sam, that like I was kind of disappointed with a lot of the endings of the songs on last week's reviews,
Mhm.
but this is like a really good one. For the same reasons you mentioned, I'm kind of just gonna parrot whatever you said, but
Yeah. That happens.
uh, it's it's like almost like a little bit like a stylistic change to end the song, and it's a very nice touch. Um, and I actually did like um, the chorus. The chorus is like very catchy for the most part. For their songs, I do like their choruses, and sometimes their verses are hit or miss. They do have pretty good rap verses, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know any of the member names. The only member voice I can identify is that guy with the really deep voice. But besides that,
Mingy.
I got
I don't.
nothing.
I don't even know their names, but
I've
I
learned
just
their
like their
names.
music.
I've learned their names through Discord pretty well because Aubrey and Cooper post about them a lot. And
Yeah.
then just from doing some research today, like I know like 70% of them.
Yeah.
But great song, great chorus, favorite song on the album.
Nice. So yeah, I thought it starts off with like a familiar guitar line. It's got like that fun summery tropical feeling that ATEEZ has going with their whole series, because yeah, like I said, this is like part 3 of a album series, the Treasure series. I think they continue to kill it with the pre-chorus part, with the piano and like the layered louder vocal like building to the chorus. Cooper and I talk about this a lot, but we think ATEEZ has like some of the best pre-choruses for some reason. Like it's just always memorable to us. And I think for most of their songs, including on this album. And I loved it in the song too. I think the chorus is it's more fun and upbeat than usual for ATEEZ. But it helped, like their vocalist shows some real power near the end of it anyway, like we talked about, like Sam talked about.
Yeah.
So like that was like a nice touch to like a more fun upbeat chorus. And also I liked that they mixed in a little bit of chip tunes during it. That was a nice touch too. And I also pretty much, like you said, I'm gonna parrot you guys with the ending, like the piano ballad-esque like ending with the woe parts was just fantastic, like a really nice change up. And yeah, overall it was just a really fun start to the album. I loved it. I honestly don't know what my favorite song on the album is, but it's definitely up there. And Cooper wrote notes for each song. So he said for Utopia, this is my favorite song on the album. It's anthemic. Anthemic? Anthemic.
Yeah.
Okay. It still feels like an ATEEZ song. Angsty vocals mixed with a powerful and bright chorus. Jungho's vocals could fill a stadium, honestly. It's so powerful. I love everything about this song. So Cooper also thinks it's the best song on the album. Jacob didn't write notes for each song, but I'm gonna assume it's his favorite song on the album because they're all his favorite songs. It's one of his favorite songs on the album. Okay, moving on to the next song, which is one of two singles for the album, and it is Illusion.
Okay, so yeah, this song, I mean, I think this is good at like ATEEZ version of a summer song, if that makes sense. I mean, it's still, a summer song, but it has like their flair to it, like especially in the chorus. It's got like kind of like that brassy, like heavy sound. I liked it. I actually really like that sound of I'm really starting to like ATEEZ, I found after kind of doing a bit of a deep dive. I really liked the beginning with it's Hongju. He's become my bias. That's like easy, decided very quickly. He's one of the rappers. He's the one without the deep voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
love
love
all the attitude.
Yeah, it's like he does like a little laugh, like a little giggle before his rap, and it has like all these sound effects. There's like auto tune, there's a little chipmunk voice. There's just so much going on, and it's just so fun. Like I really found like myself just like kind of smiling through it because I thought it was like kind of quirky, kind of cool. Like I really like him and like his presence, his persona. Like I think he's just really cool. Like even the live stages, I was really just like, yeah, this guy, he's got it. Like he's my bias. He's the whole package, really. And another thing I found in this song, and I noticed they do this in a lot of their title tracks, is they have the rappers kind of take the chorus, like, because like Mingy usually has part of the chorus, and I believe like the two of them had parts of the chorus in this song, and then they usually also kind of have the vocalist as well. Because normally in like K-pop choruses, it's usually like the main vocalist, they do the choruses.
Yeah.
But I found in ATEEZ, a lot of them, they usually have the rappers kind of lead the chorus in a way. And then kind of in like later, they have the vocalist kind of end the chorus. I think that's really cool how much they have their rappers like in the song. Especially because it's really just the two of them. Like, they have a lot of vocalists.
Yeah.
But
it makes their choruses like have a very like distinct style.
Yeah.
Like, I always think of like the guy with the deep voice again. Like for when I picture ATEEZ, that's who I think of because their choruses always incorporate that into it.
Yeah, and it makes them so hype. Like their choruses are just so fun. Because you're thinking, exactly. I agree. Let's see, what else did I have? And once again, Jung's vocals. He's doing some woos and they're going up, and it's so good. Like he is such an insanely good vocalist, and he's the youngest member too, which is like crazy. I mean, that's not that the youngest member can't be the best singer, but it's usually not the case in most groups. And then as for like the rest of like the music video, I thought was kind of cool. They're on a pirate ship, and then there's like kind of some animation going on in like the background. I thought that was really kind of like, I liked the aesthetic of it. It's cool. Choreo I thought was okay. It wasn't as heavy as I think their other songs, which I guess makes sense for the concept. But the live performance is fun. Like they have a lot of fun in their stages. I've noticed. Like, it's made me really excited to see them at KCON
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's gonna be
they
cool to
just
see
look
them.
like they're having a great time,
Yep.
and it's hype. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they give me like the vibe of like a more fun, upbeat version of Monstax. Where
Mhm.
like they're both hype. They're both like, and the other thing is like Monstax also has like these really good hidden vocal talents, where like they're known for their rappers. Like both ATEEZ and Monstax, I feel like put the forefront, like the rappers in the forefront, but they both have insanely good vocalists like
Mhm.
in their songs in the group too. So yeah, they definitely drew me in with those comparisons, just as a
Yeah.
group. What about you, Baron? What do you think of Illusion?
I thought this was the better of the two
Yeah.
title tracks. Um,
I might
I
have to
really like.
disagree, but that's just because of my inherent tropical house
Yeah.
bias. So
Yeah, I kind of expected that from you. The first rap verse is really good.
mhm.
Like I was kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't sold on the song until I heard that, and then as soon as it started, I was like, okay, like I can get into this. Although I didn't like how much they used like auto tune
Yeah.
on their voices throughout the whole song. I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. It like wasn't like off putting. It just, I think it maybe would have been a little bit better if they like didn't use it as, or used it a little bit more sparingly.
Mhm.
The music video was pretty fun. I liked how it kind of had like a dreamlike quality to it, and then like it kind of ties in with like the other music video and how like they link together. That's, I think, pretty cool.
Mhm.
The choreo, like I agree, it definitely didn't seem as like as intense as their previous ones, and I kind of liked it maybe a little bit more. I kind of enjoy like the more like carefree kind of fun than like the hardcore.
Super technical.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
agree.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that too. Yeah.
I really liked. Oh, for the music video, I really liked how like colorful it was.
Yeah.
Like I think they used pretty good like color palettes, and I liked a lot of like the
Yes.
background, and it kind of mixed in with like the dream quality of it. So
Yep.
actually quite a fan of the music video.
Yeah,
Um,
like the
I-
background when they're on like the island part, I
yeah,
thought was really pretty. It was like, but it wasn't like pretty, but like it was just, yeah, the colors exactly. It was
yeah.
really cool.
Mhm.
So pretty good song, pretty good music video. Album's going pretty well so far.
Yeah. So for me, Sam, you'll have to see if you agree with this because you're an actual fan. But for me, this gives off like Pentagon vibes with like the bouncy piano and like the auto tune like trap elements. It's just like a fun boy group song, but that bouncy piano part, like I feel like that's just a Pentagon thing, isn't it?
I
Like
mean, they did that in Shine, I
that
guess.
they do that. Well, okay, they do that in their most popular song, which is like what I know Pentagon for. So that's why
One song.
it reminded me of Shine. Okay, so it
I
didn't
will
remind
say
me
the
of
one,
Pentagon, but it reminded me of Shine.
one thing though with this group is Jungho, their lead vocalist or main vocalist. He does to me sound a lot like Jino from Pentagon. So every
Okay.
now and then I get a slight Pentagon vibe because their main vocalists
Yeah.
like remind me of each other.
Yeah, but okay, so this song reminded me of Shine. But yeah, I agree with what you said with the chorus. I love the brass part. I thought it was really cool. Like really hard hitting, like under a fun poppy song. And yeah, I agree the rap parts are fantastic. But I also agree with what Baron said. Like usual, this is just my personal preference most of the time, but I wish the vocals weren't auto-tuned. Even if it's just an artistic choice. But for this song, it's not as egregious as it is in a lot of other songs. So it's fine. It's just, I don't see the need for it, so I don't know why they do it. Like, they're like, oh, it's an artistic choice. But to me, it just makes the song sound worse.
I think it can work sometimes. Like, did
Yeah.
you like Everglow's song? By chance?
I hated it at first, but now I've grew to it's probably my most listened to 2019 song, to be honest. But I
funny.
hated it at first.
Yeah, I remember you just going off on like your whole rant about autotune. I mean, I
can't
get
stand
that.
it. It's
I've-
so obnoxious.
I like what autotune has become, like, I feel like in this year, like how they've
Yeah.
approached autotune. Like back in like T-Pain days, like
Oh, yeah,
autotune, like
Yeah, yeah.
it's
bad.
garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah.
But like how Everglow did it, how ATEEZ has done it in the past, like I think it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, there are good ways to use it. And yeah, it's not, I don't know. I just agree for the most part. Like, when it's used in places it doesn't need to be used, it's really like annoying in my opinion. But yeah,
get that.
Everglow I got over, I guess, and just grew to love how hype and amazing that song is, despite its auto-tune. But yeah, moving back to Illusion. But yeah, for the music video, I agree with what you guys said. I think it's cheesy, but it fits the song. And it's
almost
just
like
just a lot of fun.
Campy a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of
exactly.
yeah.
It's campy, it's fun, but it's cheesy in a good way. Like, it's on purpose to fit the song.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good music video. It, like, wasn't super high budget or anything, but it was still fine. And yeah, like you said, the bits of choreography we saw, although it wasn't super complicated, they really put a ton of energy into making all their movements as big as possible. So I did appreciate that. They went all out with the choreography, even though it's not like technically impressive. They just made it seem hype and fun.
Yeah, they do
so
like
even,
good hand movements and like jumping and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all their movements were really big, and I think that fits the song really well. So yeah, I enjoyed it. As I hinted at, I probably like Wave a little bit more, but that's just because of my tastes in music. Cooper did not leave much on the song. He said the song gets a lot of hate in the Discord, but I love the trap and autotune here. The music video is super quirky and fun, and the choreography is infectious. So he seemed to enjoy
getting hate in Discord? I didn't.
I thought this was the more favored one. I can't remember. I didn't listen to the song.
I wasn't really paying attention when people were talking about ATEEZ in Discord. I missed that conversation, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't confirm or deny Cooper's.
I know they weren't getting a lot of love. That much I remember, but I can't remember what the Discord consensus was like.
That's because most of Discord has bad music taste, so. Okay, let's move on to Crescent. So what do you think of Crescent, Sam?
So this was interesting. I actually thought Spotify got the song order wrong.
So did I.
Because I was like, wait, shouldn't this be the intro?
Yeah, I was like, why is this here?
Yeah, because they did a similar thing in their first album, how they opened it up. And I mean, like, yeah, you get like this whole ASMR, like, open your eyes kind of thing. And I was like, this is really weird. But then it just like got cool. I don't know, like, you got some like strings all of a sudden. It's like waves crashing. I thought that was really cool. And I like eventually, like, on like the third listen, I finally got it, like, why it's in the middle, which I'm like, when I figured that out, I felt like I had like this huge like revelation. Like, no, it's like it's pretty simple, I feel like, because it's like, you know, the first one with Illusion, you know, that's like the classic ATEEZ kind of pirate-y sound that they have. And then it's like they land on the island, you know, and then the next song they're on the island. I was like, okay, like it's how the transition, it makes sense. I wish it was a better transition. Like, I hate it because it feels like it's, you know, it's a transition into the next song, but it doesn't go straight into it. It like cuts.
It's completely jarring. There's like sounds of like waves and stuff, and then it's just like tropical house.
Because like I was getting into it, you know, because it has that whole, you know, relaxing, and like the waves are crashing, then it stops, and then it's the next song. It's like, no, like transition it, like get like a clean cut into it. Yeah.
I feel like they missed like a really good opportunity there to have like the start of wave, maybe have some waves in it or something, so you can have like the sound of the waves to connect it or something. I thought the same thing. Like, I was really confused why this was here, and I didn't understand. I thought it was like I downloaded the wrong version or something. Like, it wasn't in the right place. And then I still didn't understand it until I watched the music video. And when I watched the music video, I was like, oh, now I understand what's going on here. And like the open your eyes part, it's like they're dreaming and then like they wake up or whatever. The song's like kind of like weird though. Like, I don't really want to listen to it.
So well, like, it's not a song. It's like.
Oh like I usually don't like skits or stuff in my music. So a lot of times, I like when I'll listen to them when I'm listening to the whole album a few times, and then after I listen to them, I'll take them out like when I put them on my playlists. So I don't have to like listen to them. So this is one of those songs that it's kind of neat. I wish it had flowed better, but I'll probably just take it out of my list when I listen to this album.
Yeah, one of SES's albums has talking parts between every song, and it's a full album with like 13 songs. There's like it's insane. Well, actually, I think there's 2 skits between some songs. So there's
Oh my
like
gosh.
19 skits in that album, and then like 12 songs. It's like a 40-track album.
That's absurd.
It's so
Oh,
obnoxious to listen to. I skip because you have to skip every other song. But
yeah.
as for Crescent, yeah, I agree. Well, so I didn't think they got the order wrong. I just thought this was like an intro, like this was part of like a song, and then Wave started. And I was like, that was a really jarring, weird intro for the song. I thought it was all one track, and then I went back and I was like, oh, it's a separate track. That's odd. But yeah, I thought it was a weird mix up to put the interlude, like make it an interlude instead of an intro, because like Sam said, they had the intro for the first album, and it worked really well. It's also insanely epic, and the English lyric quote thing is ridiculous, but it's fun. But yeah, for this, like you said, it makes sense thematically to put it here, especially with like the lyrics of like open your eyes and the whole illusion dream thing, and like they marooned on an island or something and they're dreaming and then they wake up. And yeah, it fits with the whole telling a story throughout the whole series with this whole pirate theme. But it is jarring. It could have been a better transition, but overall the music itself I thought was awesome. Like I love the movie soundtrack, like string based thing that they do. It just would have been better as an intro, or with a better transition to the next song. I agree with pretty much what you guys said. Cooper said, obligatory, why wasn't this a full song? Because we say that about most intros or weird transitions, I guess, in this case. He said the strings with their vocals and rap would have been so epic, and Ocean sounds, man, this could have been something more. So it sounded like he wished it was a full song like we usually do. Next we have the other single on the album, Wave. What do you think, Sam?
So, like the first like 4 seconds, immediately I thought of Winter's Island. Like that's where I thought the song was going, but it didn't. So like once the vocals started, I was like, okay, this is better than Winter's Island. Once again, the woes are back. I really love those.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean it's tropical house. I mean I can recognize this is a good tropical house song. I mean because
Yeah.
I wasn't annoyed by it. Like it wasn't so like in your face.
That's the bar for tropical house. If it's a good tropical house song, if it's not annoying.
Yeah. Like I
It's a
was
low
just like
bar.
the whole time I'm like, it's not for me, but I recognize this is a better attempt like at a tropical house than
Yeah,
some
yeah.
like
There's definitely bad tropical house songs.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they did it, I guess, it's the ATEEZ tropical house, and I think that's, good. I think that's praise for, the songwriters and the producers of like this, it's tropical house, but it's at least it's ATEEZ and it's not just a generic tropical house of like, where did this come from? It's their kind of attempt at it. I thought that was a good job. I thought the ending of the song's really fun. Like, I was just kind of dancing, and so I thought that was fun. Like they kind of changed it up. It's not ATEEZ knows how they know how to end songs. And I really appreciate that because so many times endings just like happen. Like I don't know. I feel like I talk about endings a lot, especially when you look at like the YG groups, like they don't know how to end a song. Like this
Yeah,
album,
those.
yeah,
What do
they
you
knew
mean
how to
that
end
YG the endings are like the only good parts of the songs?
God, no.
They just don't match with the rest of the song. It's the
It
problem.
makes no sense. They make no sense. Like these build off of what was happening in
Yeah.
the song, and
Yep.
it's so satisfying if you came to an ending, and you there was a purpose to listening to this. I mean, that sounds so stupid, but it you really just feel happy, I think, when there's something like that at the end. And as for, the music videos, they're literally just kind of dancing on some sand, and then they're like in a skateboard park in a convenience store. They're having a
Yep.
fun time. Like I feel like it's kind of your generic,
Yep.
summer song music video.
Mm-hmm.
No beer pong this time, unlike WJ said. Um, and as for the live stage, I liked the choreo better on this song. I mean, like, once again, overall, their stage presence, it's really impressive. Like, I forget that they're rookies because they, like, this is their third mini in, like,
A
I
year.
feel like 7 months or something. They've just come
Yeah.
back a ridiculous amount of time. They've toured. They're going like, they've done
Yep.
so much, and I mean, hats off to them. Like, they're doing a really good job, and I really found myself having fun watching them perform this song on, like, M Countdown or whatever, because they just seem to really be enjoying themselves, which is crazy because you would think they're exhausted, but I guess they're not. Like, they've got all this energy to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought the song like started out pretty good. Like I'm not Tropical House can be very hit or miss for me.
Mhm.
I'm not like opposed to it, and I'm not like in love with it, but it can kind of feel like a little bit tired or something. Like it's like, oh,
Yeah.
another one. Like we'll
Oh
see
yeah,
what this is
yeah.
different or
We've
whatever.
definitely gotten a lot of them
Yeah.
past
So
few years.
I was really on board with the song for like the first third of it or so, like the first minute, because it starts out like a little bit quiet, and then there's like some rap and a really good pre-chorus. But then like when the chorus starts, it kind of loses me a little bit. It kind of feels to me like a very generic Trop House chorus. Like it doesn't really seem like it does anything. And especially because I'm not as invested in the group, I can't really. This is one of those songs where like I can't remember specific parts of it very well. Like I
Yeah.
was just listening to part of it right now, and I still already forgot it. So wasn't really that big of a fan of the chorus. The music video, it was kind of fun. I did like how it got connected to the other music video,
Yeah.
and how it's like open your eyes, and they open their eyes and they're on the beach and they walk around and stuff. I don't really like music videos that are kind of like we're gonna film the members pretending to have fun in places. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a boring theme for me. Like it's like, oh man, we're having fun at the skate park, or like we're having fun on this beach, and I'd rather them. It sounds kind of lame, but I'd rather than like do like the formation dance on location somewhere than just run around and jump and smile at each other and stuff. So
Yeah.
music video was just kind of okay. Although I did think, like the other one, they made good use of like color palettes and good use of. There was some really like beautiful shots of like the waves and the beaches and stuff. It's just like maybe the subject matter of or the theme. I don't know. That kind of lost me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's Tropical House, like you guys said. I think Cooper got me into ATEEZ because their first album, he's like, this is Tropical House, but this is a really cool Tropical House, so you should check them out, Nate. And yeah, I just think like they have their own twist on it, like you guys said. Like it's not super generic. It's like they're doing a whole series of piratey, tropical housey themed albums, but it has their own flavor. I thought using chiptunes instead of the usual Tropical House synths for the pre-chorus was a really good idea. That changed it up a little bit, made it a little more interesting. And the guitar mixed in as well was good. And yeah, we've said it a lot this album, but their vocals are fantastic. Definitely got to point those out. But what's the deal with K-pop artists using the lyrics Hakuna Matata late? Like it's happened so much in the last like year to 2 years. Why
I didn't
is
even
that?
notice that.
I didn't either.
Like just living in like that's a skill you pick up, like listening, like living in Korea and like knowing a little bit more Korean, I guess. But like actually hearing those English words within like with a Korean accent is definitely a skill you pick up. And I hear that like Hakuna Matata is said so many times the past couple years in K-pop.
Yeah, stream
It's so
Hakuna
weird.
Matata by Dream Note.
So, but no, I noticed that. That's just a weird little note I had. I was like, why did they say that? It's so weird.
It's a wonderful phrase.
It is. They're gearing up. They gotta get hype for the live action movie, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for the music video, I agree with pretty much everything you guys said. It's your typical Tropical House summer at music video. Like it's nothing special. But it was fun and it was fine. And yeah, the choreography. I guess I didn't watch the live stage, so it sounded like you liked it a lot, Sam. But
yeah, it was really fun.
They didn't really show much in the music video. So like it was fine.
Yeah.
But the stuff they showed in the music video wasn't too like interesting or crazy, so it wasn't bad. It was just it was if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cooper said this is their most basic ass song yet, but I still really like it. Their pre-choruses are still some of the best in the industry. What carries this song is their vocals. The music video is your generic summer music video, but it's pretty high quality and there's some cool sunset shots. The choreo once again elevates the live performance. They're seriously one of the best performance groups right now. So Cooper loved it despite its basic assness. We'll move on to Aurora. What do you think, Sam?
Okay, so this song gave me a lot of 17 vibes,
Mm-hmm.
like especially with like the songs like Home and Thanks. Like that's the kind of vibe I got.
Yeah.
Like there was at one point where I like legitimately thought I was hearing 17's vocals in this song. So I don't know if it's necessarily a compliment or not. Like it's definitely not an insult, but I also don't really care for Home and Thanks. So that's kind of, I guess, my like feelings towards the song. Like, it's not a bad song at all, but I just recognize it's not for me. One thing I guess to point out is Hongjun, their rapper and leader, I think he actually helped compose this. I think this was the only song that he helped compose. For the most part, they've got like the same 3 people doing every single song on all 3 of these like albums, I noticed, which is probably why they have such a distinct sound and it's so cohesive, which I think is really cool. So a lot of times with K-pop albums, it's like different composers, producers on every song, but they got the same guys doing like everything. And then they had a member help out with this song. This was the one song where you guys kept talking about like the pre-choruses being so good. This was the one song where I was like, I hate this pre-chorus. Like my comment is literally, why am I suddenly being yelled at? Like
Yeah.
the song is like kind of chill, and all of a sudden, like Mingy is just like yelling like at me. I'm just like, whoa. Like, I mean, it does.
It's like a little overwhelming.
Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of. I guess I can kind of see where like it gets hype and then it like kind of drops and like mellows out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, in the moment, I was just like, I'm not okay with that. Like, it was just like so off-putting in a way. And I just thought that this song in general, it could have been more chill. Like I felt like it was just like the instrumentals like still going like too hard, hitting too hard. Where I'm like, like let's like bring it down, make this a really chill song. Like it doesn't need to be like too ATEEZ, because I feel like ATEEZ like they really like hit you. And I'm like, no, let's like bring it back a little more, kind of mellow, like have trying to like think of the word, but just kind of like like a palate cleanser, like relax a little bit. I don't know. And then they had a live stage for this as well. They had a live stage for everything except their best song. But and I mean it was okay. I felt like this was the one live stage where I wasn't feeling them. Like they were trying too hard, like for such like a more softer kind of slower song. They're still like hitting their moves too hard. I was like, okay guys, feel like read the song and like you don't need to hit everything hard, like feel the music,
Yeah, take it back a notch.
Yeah, that's it.
I think this is like, it was my least memorable song, and I kind of agree that like it almost feels like the song can't make up its mind about what it wants to be. And it did sound pretty familiar to me. Maybe it is, now that I think about it. I think it may actually be 17 Home that it was reminding me of, because it sounded like very familiar with, especially like the chorus, like the instrumental and the chorus sounded familiar to me, but I still can't exactly place what it reminds me of. But I was kind of lukewarm on this one.
Yeah,
it's not quite doing it for me. It's like, it's not awful though.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice mix up with like loungy R&B song as opposed to the like more upbeat tropical stuff that they had before. I thought it was just like a nice chill song, or like a good song to chill to. I'm gonna say the opposite of Sam though, and I love the pre-chorus. I love it. It's like, well, okay, so not for the vocals, because you said you didn't like it because you felt like he was yelling at you, and like I don't even really remember the vocals, but just the mix of like the strings, the synths, and like the silence they use, like the instrumentals themselves for the pre-chorus, I just thought was really cool. Just the like staccato nature of it and the silence they use and like the way the strings hit. I just thought it was really cool. And I thought it went into a nice like chill drop chorus, like with the song like this and the way the pre-chorus was building. The chorus could have been too hard. Like the drop chorus could have been like way too hard, and that would have ruined the song in my opinion. But I thought it was nice that they kind of subverted your expectations with that pre-chorus and then dropped back into a more chill song to match the rest of it. So yeah, overall I liked it a lot still. But I can see why you guys wouldn't like it as much. And then Cooper said, "This song is so good. I love the synths, and also the choreo is amazing for a non-promoted B-side. Like, why?" That is what he wrote. He disagrees with you, Sam. Okay, let's move on to the final song on the album, "Dancing Like Butterfly Wings."
Okay, so this one's kind of interesting because the sample, like the guitar sample they used, is from a Pentagon song.
Is it really?
So yeah, it's from Pentagon's Genius. The song wasn't on like the album, like it's you can see it on YouTube. They have a video. And so that was weird of like it's literally like the same song.
Okay.
And like they're both kind of like feel good kind of songs. Although the Pentagon one's like more emotional. Like if you watch the video, like one point like they're talking to their dads and it's really emotional. Where it's like, I mean, this one still kind of has like a bit of like a powerful, like there's something about that sample that is like really just kind of feel good. Like I don't know how to explain it, but there's the feeling that I think is evoked from that specific sample that both the songs use. I mean, I think this is a good song. This song made no sense on the album. I will say that. It came
It's
out
like
of
a huge change of pace from everything else.
yeah. I mean, unless I guess maybe this is like the ending of their. I guess is like the albums, are they like a trilogy? Like, is this the end of like the treasure?
I don't know if this
thing?
is the end of the whole thing or
I
not.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about like ATEEZ to really like. I guess, but I mean, I guess I could see this as like a nice like happy ending of like, oh, like yay, like we've done so much. I don't know, but yeah, it didn't really make sense. There's more woes in this. You know, it's fine. I like them. The bridge, I guess it's the bridge made like that was weird.
The bridge is really
All
bad.
of a sudden, see it could have been okay, but it only lasted like 3 seconds, and then we're back to the guitar riff and like
it's like, where did this come
like
from? What is this doing here?
Yeah, you know, if they like committed and like did a whole thing, like it would have been better. Except it's just like they like both the rappers say their lines and then it's like, yeah, we're back.
Over. Yep.
It's like it was weird. One thing, I guess two things I have to point out is once again, talking up my two biases I formed in this group is Song Joon's rap earlier in the song, not the bridge part, but earlier in the song, like was awesome. I thought it was really good. He has such a flow to him that I think is really impressive and really good. I really like that guy. And then Jungkook's voice, his vocals, oh my god, especially at the end, he's just going up there. Oh, it's so good. And like once again, there's a live stage for this. I thought this was better than the Aurora one. And I mean, they do like butterfly wings in the choreo, which I think that's
cool.
Fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
ripped off Luna.
yeah, that was it. I mean, it was a fun stage. I'm still just like mad that Utopia didn't get a live stage now that all the other ones did. But I mean, overall, it's like, yeah, it's a good song. It just didn't make any sense on this album.
So I definitely I'm not that discerning with guitar samples, but I really like the guitars in the song.
Yeah.
Even though it like doesn't really fit like their feel or their theme that they have going, I thought it worked pretty well in the song, and I enjoyed that. All the rap parts are really good, like in all their songs, but I really didn't like that bridge. And it's not like the rapper's fault because it's like that weird drop thing that goes on behind them, but the bridge is really bad. It doesn't ruin the song. The song I still enjoy overall, but that part's not that good. The chorus is kind of okay, but all the verses are quite good, and I feel like it could be a pretty good song if they just, I don't know, went with a different direction for that bridge.
You should have listened to the
Yeah.
Pentagon song then.
I
Pentagon
do.
song doesn't have that bridge.
I'll have to make sure to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I love the focus on the guitar. Not knowing that it was a Pentagon song as well. And for the millionth time, also, I agree. I gotta point out the vocals. They're fantastic throughout. But yeah, I also agree. I think the rap stood out the most in this song. The non-bridge rap.
Yeah.
That definitely was the most hype, or like my favorite rap verse on the album. But I disagree with you, Sam, where I think the bridge was short enough that it didn't ruin the song, but if it went on longer, it would have ruined the song for me. Where for me, I was like, where did this come from? Okay, it's gone. Good. It's gone. Like, it lasted 3 seconds, and I can just pretend that never happened because that was weird. But if that kept going, I would have been like, why is it happening? Why they just completely ruined the vibe of this song? But it's so short, it was fine. That was how I felt about it.
Sure. I guess that's a way to look at things.
Yep. Okay, and Cooper said for this last song, this is a concert closer if I've ever heard one. At this point, I'm tired of the chanting whoa oh ohs. Still a good song though. So he still enjoyed it. Okay, so that's it for our review of ATEEZ Treasure Episode 3, 1 to All. We'll get to our scores now. For me, well, I guess we'll start with Sam. We'll keep in order. I'm so used to going first.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say this is, I think, their weakest album yet, or it's more, I guess, not to my taste. That's probably maybe the better way of putting it, because it's still not a bad album. Because like it's really cohesive, I think, and that's really just something we don't get in K-pop. And I mean, it's so funny because going into this album review, like ATEEZ has kind of always been like an eye roll to me of like, okay, because they've kind of really blown up, and it's not that I think they're bad, like I think they're good. It's just that they've been so hyped up that I just kind of haven't had the desire to.
Yeah, I can understand. Someone pushes something on you so much that you're just like, no, I don't want to check this out anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, plus they're a guy group, which is also just not my like go-to. So I haven't had that like energy. But after I think reviewing this album, like I really listened to their other stuff. I tried to kind of learn some members, watch some live stages. Like I think the hype is well worth it. Like I think they kind of deserve all the hype they've been getting. I think they're a really good group. Like their rappers are amazing. Jungho is phenomenal. Their other vocalists are great too. I can't quite pick them out like specifically, so sorry for people who have like biases in ATEEZ that I didn't talk about, but like they're all good. Like this is a really good group, and like I think they're only going to get better. But saying all that, now I'm going to give them not a great score. No.
2 out of 10.
So music wise, I ended up giving them a 5.5 out of 7. Like it says like the songs aren't bad. There's nothing bad about any of the songs. They're just not my taste. And so that's really where a lot of the points going down are. And concept wise, I gave this a 1.5. The same reason why I gave WJSN like the 1.5. Like it's a summer concept. Like there's nothing really exciting happening. They're just like in t-shirts and pants, and the choreos, nothing too crazy, nothing too impressive. So yeah, 5.5, 1.5, I gave this a 7 out of 10.
I feel pretty similar about the group in general. Like I've actually never listened to their first EP. Like I've seen some of the music videos because I think Cooper was shilling for them at some point in Discord, and I watched them
many times. Yes,
all the time.
But I really liked their second EP, and I really like Say My Name.
Yes.
So like that was when I kind of was like, oh man, this is like a very good song for like a rookie group. I should maybe pay attention to them a little bit more. So that's kind of what put them on my radar, but not enough to make me go back and listen to the first album still.
You
so
should
still
do
my
it.
to-do
It's really
list.
good.
Yeah, I need to for sure. This album I didn't like as much as their second one. It's maybe more consistently good, but I feel like there's no one song that I like as much as I liked Say My Name. And
Yeah.
for me, I'm more about like the highs than like consistently good songs. So like if you have like an album with one really good song and a bunch of okay ones, I'd prefer that to a song with just a bunch of good songs, because I kind of just lose track of an album that doesn't have like a standout song on it. Even though
Yeah.
Utopia was quite good, it wasn't quite like the top tier.
Yeah.
But it's still a very impressive set of 2 albums from a very new group. I like this one. I'll give it a 5 out of 7 for music. And then for the styling, I did like both of the music videos. I liked Illusion a lot more than Wave, but like good use of colors and excitement. So I think 2 out of 3 for that one. So I think we're in agreement again, Sam. 7 out of 10.
Sounds good. Surprise, surprise. I love everything. I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. Don't worry. And I agree. I don't think it's as good as episode 2, and I'm pretty sure I gave that a 10 out of 10. But
Oh, wow.
I did think all of the music on the album was great. So I did give it full marks for that. I gave it a 7 out of 7 for music. There wasn't really anything egregious to me that like ruined the vibe. And I agree, Sam. I like the consistency of the album. Like you said, we don't get that a lot in K-pop. Most K-pop albums try to do like a different genre for every song almost. So it was nice to have that kind of cohesion. And then I did give them the 2 out of 3 for concept. The music videos, like I really liked Illusion's music video. Waves was fine, but it wasn't bad. So they didn't get full marks there, obviously, but I don't think they deserved full marks for that. But I thought, and I really like what they did with the choreography with Illusion, like just that energy they put into it. So that kind of bumped them up a bit to a 2. So I gave it a 9 out of 10. Cooper said, overall, while this doesn't reach the perfection that is episode 2 for me, this is still one of the better summer albums I've heard. I like every song, and some will go on my best of the year list. The choreography all around is still just as good as their previous ones. ATEEZ have crept up my favorites list lately. I consider them just below my alts at this point. I really can't wait to see what they do next. And he gave the music a 6 out of 7 and the concept a 2.5 out of 3 for an 8.5 out of 10. And then also Jacob gave us his thoughts. Andrew did not, but Jacob did, just as an overall giant paragraph. So bear with me while I read this. Jacob said, ATEEZ continues to impress following their awesome last release with episode 2. The album starts out with Utopia, which is an incredible electronic pop song with punchy bass, powerful vocals, and a super hype chorus. They definitely started the album out with a bang. Next, they went to Illusion, which I wasn't as impressed with. They rely too much on tropes often used in a lot of hip-hop and mainstream pop these days that I think have overstayed their welcome on the scene. The autotune is unnecessary. That being said, I don't think these things totally break the song. It's still fun, just not my favorite, and I hope they try and steer clear of this style in the future. Following that, we have Crescent, which is an interlude, starts out with whispering voices and interesting radio samples, as well as ocean sounds and cinematic orchestration. I really wish it was the beginning to a full song. Next was Wave, which is a fun tropical song with catchy string instrumentals, bouncy vocals, another strong entry. Aurora really stood out to me with a fusion of acoustic guitar instrumentals as well as electric percussion. The vocals on the song came out quite well as well also. The synths leading into the chorus really led to a nice build-up and satisfying drop chorus. Lastly, we have Dancing Like Butterfly Wings, which was nice, but I didn't like as much as tracks like Utopia and Aurora. The vocals came out nice, but the hook for the chorus was a little basic for my tastes. Overall, this is another really great release from ATEEZ. The only knocks I give are really for Illusion not being my favorite from them, and the music video being pretty basic. As I've stated before, I really hope they can keep up this momentum, because I see a lot of potential for them, especially if they can maintain music of this quality. And he gave it a 6.5 out of 7 for music and a 1.5 out of 3 for concept for an 8 out of 10. So, with our 5 ratings added up, and average, we get a 7.9, which rounds up to an 8. So, I think that's a good place for this album. I knew I would be on the high end with a 9. But yeah, Cooper and Jacob thought it was 8.5, and you guys seem to like it a little bit less, but not too bad. for all Andrew probably would have given this like a 5. So you guys, but he would have seen Tropical House and be like, nope, -5 points just for a Tropical House song.
Probably.
That's not true, but okay. If you enjoyed the album, let us know what your thoughts, or if you didn't enjoy the album, tell us what you think of this album in the comments on YouTube, or tweet us or whatever, or come talk to us on Discord about it, because we're all hanging out there. Okay, let's move on to topic 2, which is a much more serious, depressing, hardcore topic. We're gonna talk about Somi's debut. No.
I was wondering, I'm like, man, we should have made that a topic. I could go on for hours about that.
We'll save that for releases, I guess. That's another horrible, sad topic. But no, there's some much more serious, important news that we should probably talk about that came out this week. So we're gonna talk about BI from iKON's drug scandal, as well as what that kind of caused within YG. So I guess I'll just go over like the timeline first, and then we could just discuss what you guys think of what this means for the industry and stuff like that. So like earlier this week, Dispatch kind of released some information about BI being involved in a drug scandal. I don't remember if it was him trying to buy or just him using drugs. It was LSD and weed. So obviously, if you don't know much about Korea's culture and stuff, they're pretty conservative, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So even weed's a pretty big deal when it comes to like sentencing and stuff. So yeah, going above that to like LSD, I'm sure is probably pretty bad. But yeah, so they released that, and I think like right away YG did their usual deny thing, and then within 4 hours he had left the group of iKON and left YG, which is pretty like, so it seemed like the evidence was pretty concrete, and so he clearly had to leave. Like he's not gonna, like that's just what happens in these situations. You're not gonna stay and completely ruin, like the company's not gonna want to keep you, first of all. Two, like most people aren't gonna want to ruin the reputation of their whole group and like all their friends or whatever. So that's not surprising. Now what that means for iKON we'll get into, because he was their main producer, and kind of like their main person in the group. So, and he did a lot of producing for YG just in general. So we'll talk about that as well. But then we find out it gets a little bit deeper. So Han So-hee was involved. If you don't know who she was a former YG trainee. She was involved, was it last year with Top's drug scandal? Was that last year?
2 years ago?
2 years ago? Was it that long ago already?
Yeah. Because it was like when he was like starting off in the military, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. It was I think 2 years ago.
Okay. So yeah, she was the trainee that like got caught with Top like smoking weed and hanging out, and kind of like there was a whole scandal involved there. So she apparently was also involved in this, and she supposedly, her and YG had conversations about like what to do with this like scandal and like how to cover up the fact that they're using drugs and stuff. So that leaked, which is a really big deal. I don't think it's really surprising to most of us, because so I don't know about, yeah, you guys listeners, you're gonna get a fresh perspective maybe on YG and this whole situation, because you've heard me, Jacob, and Andrew talk about it a lot, and talk about how we hate YG and he's ruining the company and everything. I'm sure you guys probably agree with that at this point, but maybe you'll get a different perspective. Maybe you're like, nope, YG's right, we're gonna defend him.
Yeah, don't you know, we're the biggest YG fans.
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely, exactly. No, yeah, so some stuff goes around with her talking to YG, and I think some text messages were revealed and stuff as well. So yeah, it got all the way up to YG himself, which is a pretty big deal, obviously, and he ended up leaving the company, as well as his brother, who was the CEO, has also stepped down. So, with that being said, I guess let's start with Sam. What do you think of all this? What what do you think this means for YG? What do you think this means for the industry as a whole? YG the company and YG the person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was like, it's one of the things where I'm like, I don't even know if this is really even going to affect anything. Because I mean, like, sure, the YG, like YG and his brother, like they stepped down. Like that doesn't necessarily mean they're gone. Like they're still the biggest like shareholders of the company.
Mm-hmm.
They still have influence. Like, so it's. I mean, the whole talk is like, if the next person's just going to be like a puppet, I guess. Which I don't know how true that. I don't know how any of this works. Like so I don't want to be like talking as if like I know exactly what's going to happen because I have no idea. And like as for Icon, like I don't even know what like is going to happen there. Like I don't know, YG is just a huge train wreck. And it's one thing I was like trying to
Yeah,
think
it's
about
not
like
been a good year.
no. Like what's one good thing they've done? I have no idea. Like this year. But it's just like I'm wondering like how different this would have played out if there wasn't like the Burning Suns stuff from earlier this
Oh
year.
yeah,
If
yeah,
because it was how like BI left was so fast. Like that
yeah,
thing was
yeah.
just bam, 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 it's over. He's gone. Now YG's gone. Like it just went by, which was pretty insane. Because it's
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like this isn't their first drug scandal.
Yeah.
I feel like they
So
constantly are trying to I mean, like GD's still around. Like he had
yeah, yeah,
his I mean, Top's I guess kind of different since he's in the military. So like I guess we don't really know what's gonna happen when he comes back. Like if
yeah,
he's but now who has any like who knows what happens to Big Bang now with
yeah,
with Sungri and then YG's gone. Like this whole thing is just I don't think anyone can actually predict what's gonna happen in
yeah.
this because yeah.
It's one thing I forgot to mention, which makes like ties into the Burning Sun scandal thing, is there's also when all this drug like stuff came out, also came out that like BI had previous like drug like accusations that were swept under the rug by like police and stuff. So that kind of ties in with the Burning Sun stuff of like police corruption and YG getting special treatment, like the company and their artists and stuff, kind of being able to do these illegal things and getting away with them. So I think that had a big like just a big effect on how all this played out, because there's already so much like scrutiny for them with all of the police corruption and everything involving Burning Sun, that the fact that like, oh well, one of their members was using drugs, or like one of their trainee or not trainees artists was using drugs, and they were able to get away with it even though they were caught by police. Like
Mm-hmm.
they can't deal with that again. They just have to let them go.
Yeah. And it's just like it makes me wonder like how deep does this really go? Like it's almost like even like more suspicious because like they step down, that
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like there's something else there that like they just I don't even know, but I mean from what I've kind of gathered, it sounds like Hanso he like it sounds like she just knows things and she kind of just doesn't give a fuck
Oh
anymore.
yeah,
It sounds
yeah,
like she knows a lot of things.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
definitely.
she was almost calculated like in all this. Because
Yeah.
when she met with YG to like
Mm-hmm.
to change her story or get her story right or whatever, how he like kind of phrased it, like she took a picture of like herself at the building of like proof that like she was there, this meeting happened, and like everything. Like it sounds like she just doesn't care and she is just gonna kind of spill everything, which I mean I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, I can see how it sounds like very like villainous of her. I mean, she has such a bad reputation. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? I don't think she's like a great person, but
Well, no, I mean
she does.
she's the one hanging out and like doing weed, like smoking weed and doing
Yeah.
LSD with
Which
BI
it's
and
like,
Top and stuff. Like,
it's like, there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean,
no, but
that's my own personal
yeah,
view
yeah,
of
yeah,
that whole thing.
yeah,
But I mean, I do understand the whole, like, she is kind of, ruining these idols' lives and reputations, but it's
yeah.
not like it's
No,
her fault
they're not ruining their own
entirely.
Yeah.
reputations or anything.
Yeah,
But it's all her fault.
exactly. Yeah,
This is
and
what the fans would think.
exactly. So I think, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see, yeah, what comes of YG. Like, how many more artists are really like in this? Because then, like,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
because part of it also is funny because Bi had his announcement where he said, like, he admitted to I guess buying, or the conversation, which, I mean, there's proof of the conversation,
Yeah, yeah.
but he said he never used it, which,
I'm just buying this LSD
Yeah.
to just have it. Like, I'm not
and it
gonna
was like
use
a
it.
ton. It was a ton. It was like $1,000+ worth of
Oh really?
LSD.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like 10 sheets.
missed
There's
that part.
like, he asked specifically of like an amount to pay, and she was like, "Yeah, that's gonna cost like over $1,000." And he even, in the text conversation, it even like flat out admitted that he had. I'm thinking it's smoked weed with her, because it said
Yeah. Well,
something
that's what
like,
she
"We've
did with
done it."
Top.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, we've done it before." So I'm like, okay, well, they've obviously have smoked weed, and he's talking in the text conversation that he enjoys weed. So I'm like, okay, so that happened. And then the guy from Winner then
Oh
like
yeah.
comes into this,
Yep. I
and he
forgot.
like is like, "No, yeah, he used it, and he failed his drug test, even though YG was like they didn't." Which, this was another thing. What's the point of the drug
Drug
test,
tests. If you
really?
know all your artists are
Because they're
doing
obviously not
drugs
kicking. They're not going
and
to
they're
kick
not
a
kicking
member
him out.
out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's just so they know, I guess, and they can try to
Like, yeah, maybe
like
temper
prepare.
yeah.
But I thought that was so funny. It's like he gets the drug test from like the US or something like that. It was interesting. And yeah, so I guess he failed it. And like the whole thing was funny. And then he like, he messages Kim So Hee like, "Hey, like, you have to," or Han So Hee, I got her name wrong. Whoops. And it's like, "Hey, meet me at the YG office." And then like she gets there, and it's like a different guy, pretty much saying like, "You can't tell anyone that this happened." It's
It's like a
like,
shakedown.
this is
Yeah,
so
basically.
weird. Yeah.
What do you think, Baron?
I was like, I saw the story when it initially happened, and I was like making jokes in Discord about it, and then I kind of like tuned out for a little bit, and then I came back, and it was like, he quit Icon, he's gone, like YG's in shambles, everybody's quitting. Like, it seemed like it happened so quick, and it
Yeah,
caught me off
it
guard
definitely
because,
did.
like, you would have thought, or at least I would have thought, that if like this mass exodus of like the top officials of the company was going to happen, it would have happened after Burning Sun and not after this.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
that part like doesn't really make sense to me. So I have to like imagine that there's like more to this or
Exactly. That's why
something.
I think there's more. There's
Mhm.
Yeah,
gotta be for this, because it's like how with Sungri, like the minute something was said, he like left,
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we got all this other information of like, that's why I feel like there's got to be the same thing happening
I
here.
yeah,
I think either there's more to it, or the fact that the evidence is so much more concrete, where with Burning Sun there's so much involved, and they like, it was so like entangled and just calculated. Like, I feel like they planned for that to get out at some point, or like not planned, obviously they didn't want it to get out, but like
They
they
were
had
prepared.
contingency plans. They were prepared for
Yeah.
that to get out, and they had people that they could rely on as like fall guys. Like, Sungri was clearly not the head of that ring of
yeah,
prostitution and drugs and sex trafficking, but it almost seemed like he was a fall guy. Obviously he was guilty and involved, but he wasn't running that. I feel like I feel like YG is running all of this. But for this, the evidence is so much more concrete, like directly to him.
yeah,
That maybe that might be the reason why he finally was like, I have to step down, because like there's just record of him directly involved in all this. where he could probably kind of like squeeze his way out of all the Burning Sun stuff if he tried, or like I'm sure he had plans to get out of that.
And was there like evidence that implicated his brother, the CEO, or something? Like I was a little bit confused why he left as well.
No, I think that's more of just like, I'm quitting, but my brother's gonna stay CEO, so like that doesn't really
I think it's just
change
get rid
anything.
Of the family.
So it was like, if I'm leaving, like if he's getting kicked out and leaving, like they have to kick him out, because otherwise like people are just gonna assume that he's running it through his brother.
And because this is a little like in my wheelhouse a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say this fits you a little bit.
I was curious about like how much of the company he owned and like how much control he had over voting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like he only owns I mean he's the largest shareholder, and he owns like a little bit over 17%.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like it's very odd for a public company, because they have like 18 million total shares, but only 9 million of those are held by the public, and half of all the shares, like over half, are held by like the company itself, directors or affiliates of the directors. So like that means like, because I assume it's mostly YG himself and his family members that own the majority of that 50%. So like they still have full control over the company, even though it's a publicly traded company, and they have no official involvement with it. So I am curious to see like who they're going to choose as their next CEO, and whether or not that affects like what direction, because it's obvious they need like a rebranding, and they need to like reshuffle some things.
This company, honestly, like they should just close it and just start new. Like at this point, like I feel like starting a brand new company that's like, okay, but having the artists from YG would just be a much better PR than trying to rebrand or revive YG.
It should just all go to Psy.
Yeah, it's gonna take like a lot of effort, I think.
That's the other thing I wonder, like, because Big Three, I feel like they're no longer going to be Big Three.
I mean, that even happened a few, like 3 or 4 months ago. I think like the media termed it like the Big Four now, and it was without YG even was the big. It was SMYG or SMJYP, Big Hit, and who was the fourth one? I can't remember who was.
Cube?
No, it wasn't Cube. I think maybe it was like Lowen or like Stone. I think it was Stone, like just because that's like CJ's company. Like CJ is so big that, or it was something like that. But it was like they at this point, YG, the whole year YG stocks have been falling.
Yeah,
their
I think
public
it's like,
perception's been nosediving. Like.
Yeah, it's more of like the fall of like I guess the symbolic Big Three, like the
exactly.
Not like on the actual on paper Big Three, but like when you think of like everyone still has the mindset of the Big Three, because they're the three big companies that kind of produce like the best groups, and I feel like YG, like I think that name is just, it's gonna go away, or like it's just gonna be, it's either I think gonna disappear, or it's just gonna have the negative association. I don't think they can really come back from this, and like you completely rebrand, rename them themselves at this point. I mean,
and I feel like not to interrupt you, but
I didn't have anything to say.
I feel almost like it's hard for me, because YG always like brands itself as like it's the artists, like artists do everything, like they have a lot of independent control, and it seems like almost they didn't like know what was going on with their own artist, or have any idea what was going on, or even worse, like they were kind of like cultivating this image, and then it just seems odd to me that it doesn't seem like a coincidence that the label that puts the most emphasis on like how much control individual artists has also seems to have the most problem with managing their company.
I think like, well, first of all, to me it almost seems like they put that emphasis on like the artists get to do their own thing, but then YG had the final say in everything anyway, and just like didn't really because I don't think any of those groups would be putting out as little music as possible as they are if they had full control. but
Yeah.
they do pride themselves on like the artists are the producer, like they were the main like idol producer company, like their groups produce their music and stuff, so that's where that came from. But yeah, I agree, like it's not, I feel like it's not a coincidence that the company run by YG, like the main, like I don't know, just like his personality and like just the aura he gives off, like it just never gave me good feelings. Like it didn't surprise me that like all this stuff comes out of his company. Now the other big companies obviously have their own problems. I remember seeing like a post on Reddit that was like talking about the big three, because Isuman now is dealing with like money laundering or something recently.
That's much more on brand for him though.
But
he's not gonna get caught for like prostitution rings.
No, exactly. And then JYP's got the whole like religious cult thing that's always been following him around. So it's like, pick the big three. Do you want like drug scandals, religious cult, or money laundering? But no, like YG just always seemed like the more like morally questionable company. And it just sucks that also seems to have like led into the cultivation of the artists. Because obviously like we've had these problems with Big Bang, we've had now these problems with Icon. Like it's just seems like YG was okay with these things, or like the company itself was okay with these things and was willing to go to like insane illegal lengths to protect their artists and let them keep doing them. Where if JYP, I feel like, I mean, he's got like super healthy like all that stuff. He's got the whole organic like cafe and stuff. I think if he caught his artists like smoking weed, I don't think he would be like going to the police and threatening them and getting the records purged. He would like kick them out.
So I think one thing is like JYP and most other, like almost all the other companies really like they like produce like, you know, like idols.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
YG is not
artists.
about idols.
Yeah,
it
was artists, not idols.
Yeah,
I think they're,
which is why it like almost like isn't a shocker. I feel like when it's a YG artist, like you know, because they don't have like the pure idol image, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
like,
it's just like
you can't imagine Red Velvet just trying to buy $1,000 of LSD. Like that's just not something you imagine Red Velvet doing.
It'd be great if like that's like in their next MV, like their comeback is them just doing LSD.
I mean, it would fit all their music videos, so
yeah. Yeah, I don't see Irene running like a prostitution ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like anything like that. But
so it is what it is. I agree. I think YG has to, like, the company itself has to just go away. I don't think they can keep using that name at this point. I mean, maybe they can come back. Public perception is very like fickle and fragile. Like people will forget about these things.
The thing is though, like I have to imagine this is not as worse as it's gonna get. Like there's gonna be more stuff that's gonna come out. So like I don't know what they're gonna do when like more stuff comes out, like in 2 or 6 months or whatever.
I want to know what happens when like Big Bang comes back from the military.
No, I think
they're coming honestly, back to this shit storm.
No, I think GD's probably gonna leave, and I think if GD leaves, and then because I remember I read this on Reddit too. I think it was because one of their biggest. Yeah, right here. One of their biggest investors is like Louis Vuitton, I think. I remember reading about this like a few years ago. They had like a long-term investment contract with them or something. And yeah, this person posted, I heard that GD will be out of the military in October, same month as Louis Vuitton making the decision on the money they invested in YG. So in 4 months, like this company could just be done if all that investment goes away and GD leaves. Like, what do they have?
If GD goes to Size Company and I get GD and Edon in the same company, I will lose it. I would be the happiest person in the world.
Do we need 2 GDs in one company?
That would be so good. Like, give me an Edon and GD song. I want that.
But yeah, it's just like, there's no coming back from between this and Burning Sun. Like, I just don't think there's any coming back from it.
Yeah. And then Somi's debut wasn't enough to distract us.
Yeah, but that's Black Label, so it has a little bit of separation at least, but still like
yeah, no one's
still,
making
like,
that separation though.
yeah. I'm glad, like, I feel like Epic High knew this was coming. The fact that they left last year,
I feel like even
they,
Psy knew.
Psy
They
knew
all
this.
knew.
Yeah, like so many
Yeah.
people jumped ship like in the last year. They knew this was happening. Like they knew this was gonna go down like soon,
Well,
and they're like, I need to get away from this.
I have to imagine it's like an open secret among them.
Oh,
like,
100%. Everyone
in the
knew this
company.
was happening.
Yeah.
Even like I'm sure other companies like trainees and stuff and artists know that
Yeah.
this is happening. So yeah, it's the honestly I feel like it's a long time coming. Like YG was never gave me good vibes. So like I was like I thought this should have happened a long time ago, to be honest. And I didn't think he was running the company well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a mess. that's really the best way to sum it up. Any last thoughts for you guys?
Well, I guess like the one thing is also to ask is like what happens to Icon and
Yeah.
just BI in
Yeah,
general.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like BI, it's like he was like I mean, for one with Icon, I only know two names, probably like most people who don't know anything about
BI
Icon.
and Bobby.
I know Bobby and BI.
Mhm.
Like the rest, they're there. I don't know
Yep.
their names.
Yep, same.
And like BI, like reading up, I'm like that dude has like an amazing like resume of like
Oh no, yeah, he's an insane producer.
yeah, I mean he's just done so much. Like he's been like on every like Icon album. Like he's done so much for YG, so for other artists. So it's like, is he gonna completely disappear from the industry, or are they gonna be like putting him like on the DL of like he's still helping out, but like nobody knows kind of thing,
Yeah.
or is he just done? Like it's
I think so. Honestly, this depends on if he gets jail time or not. But
That's
I
true.
think despite like whether he does or not, I can't see him coming back into the spotlight. But I could easily see him becoming just a normal producer that's not an artist and just produces for other groups and just freelance, like not tied to a company. Because I'm sure, like, yeah, 2-3 years, like any company would love to have BI produce a song for them.
Everyone's gonna
Like,
forget about this.
Exactly. Everyone's going to forget about, in terms of this. I don't think people are going to forget about the YG, the company side of it, but for BI himself, like, yeah, people won't care that he tried to buy LSD and smoked weed in a few years, and he's a really talented producer. And I don't, like, it, like, if he just goes freelance and just produces for companies, people are going to love that, and companies are going to pay him money to produce songs, like, despite all of this. But I don't see him wanting to or being able to come back as an actual like artist and in the spotlight.
I feel like it's one of those things where people his age like don't really care about like smoking weed. Like it's one of those things where it's highly illegal in Korea, but I don't think like young people really think of it as bad.
It's like the same thing here before, like even before like we started like decriminalizing it in different states. Like people our age didn't care. It just it was just illegal, and so people had to be cagey about it, but it didn't stop anyone. So yeah, I think it's the same way. I agree.
Yeah, and then another thing that I thought was really funny, when all this news was breaking, and like it's like immediately he was supposed to be on like 3 shows or something, and it's like they already edited him out. Like, news dropped, and then it was like the next thing's like BI's been edited out of this and this and this and this. I was like, wow. I wonder like how they did it, because I remember like with Top, there was like this one Weekly Idol episode where it's like the end of the year and they're like flashing back to all the episodes throughout the year, and there's the Big Bang episode. They literally put like a building over Top, like to cover him up. Like that was their way of editing him out. And like they're just this building, like this clip art thing. Like it's like he's not there. Like, so I'm like, I wonder how they did like these ones as well. Like I'm sure these were done better.
Yeah, usually they just cut any scenes of him. like
Yeah.
either that he's in or
I just
one
remember like
shots.
I
But yeah,
lost it. I thought that was so funny. And then like I guess Icon's also still going to Japan, their Japanese tour. So
okay.
Icon's still like doing their own thing,
Hmm.
I
It's gonna
guess.
be
So,
awkward with like -1 person.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like one of their biggest.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
good
was
thing
gonna
they
say,
had their year when they did. Like 2018 was like the year of Icon,
yeah, definitely.
and glad they at least had that, but
Hmm.
who knows now.
Any closing thoughts, Baron?
No, I don't think so. I think we nailed all the points.
Yeah. Last thing, another comment on Reddit pointed this out, and I agree with them. We need a just super in-depth documentary series on this past year of YG scandals. Like, just get these crazy inside scoops and talk with everyone. I want to know what's happening in like chronological order and everything, because it's so hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to topic 3, which is a much more lighthearted and fun topic. So this is actually a topic I'm 95% sure we did a long time ago. I'm pretty sure we did this like probably first couple of months, like first 10 episodes maybe. But I wanted to, and I thought it would be nice to have new faces give a new perspective here. I want to talk about either underrated, forgotten, or just unknown groups that you guys enjoy listening to, and try to get like the word out, like, hey, people listening or people in Discord, like, you guys should listen to these groups that you might not have listened to. For me, a lot of that means older groups that disbanded, because K-pop's blown up in the past 3, 4, 5 years, and there are just plenty of groups that I love from like second generation that people just don't know because they either disbanded by then, or they just never put out music or whatever, or they just kind of fell off the face of the earth and didn't get the recognition they deserved. So yeah, I thought this would be a fun topic to do with some new people, giving some new perspectives, even though I know Baron and I are going to have very similar lists. So it might not be as much of a new perspective, but Sam can throw some stuff in. Also, just like new groups, because I like talking about, I like following, obviously I follow K-pop religiously because I do this podcast, and I just know a lot of groups, and even ones that get small amounts of views, especially because we do releases. So yeah, even bringing up just like new groups that you think should be more popular that are promoting right now. So you want to start, Sam?
I mean, I guess I can.
Or
I
do you
don't know
want me
how
to
much I
start?
can really. Oh, well, I mean, I can go first. I don't know how much I can really contribute, since I know you guys. I haven't been in K-pop like extremely
As long as
like
us, yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many like groups from second gen and whatnot that you guys will definitely know that I'm like, I've heard these names, but yeah, you're right.
So
I don't
you're
know
the
their
target
music.
audience. You should listen to these people.
Exactly. Like I should start like making a list. So I feel like most of my groups, I feel like I'm mostly listening like rookies,
Yeah.
which it's like, it's not quite the same thing, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, these are rookies that I really like, and I definitely think, like I think they should, and even like some, it's like it's not that they're completely unknown. Like I would say, I mean, of course, it's the whole thing of like everyone thinks their favorites are underrated.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah,
like I
definitely.
think Pentagon's pretty underrated. I mean, they had Shine and that was their big like breakout.
Mhm.
But like doesn't sound like you guys really know their music too
Nope.
well.
I've
Yeah.
heard Shine and their newest single, and that's pretty much it.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys haven't even reviewed an album from them yet.
Nope. Well, I mean, we had a
And
little bit of a.
now that Edon's gone,
I was
like
gonna say
you should
we
love
had
them.
we had a little bit of a problem with Edon mostly, so that was I don't have a problem with him like personally. It's just I don't like his
I'm
voice.
aware of the Edon hate in this podcast. But like yeah, it's like I feel like that's like a really big group to start with. But like yeah, and even like Oh My Girl, like they're not like they're a very well-known group, but at the same time they're not as well known as I wish they were.
Yeah, I mean I think they qualify. Like I mostly meant this for like people
I have
got
others.
Oh yeah.
But
But
yeah,
I meant this for like people that got into K-pop because of Twice, Blackpink, BTS, like
yeah,
people like exactly like you said when in your intro like last week, like how you got into K-pop. Like you just listened to BTS and like EXO and stuff for like a long time. Like you didn't branch out. You would have never known Oh My Girl existed, or even like just like so like just even mid-tier groups, like people just don't know about them. Like there are people out there that just listen to the biggest groups, and I think pointing a light on some lesser
yeah.
known groups is good.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend Pentagon and Oh My Girl. They're two of my ults, and they
Mhm.
were two similar stories with me of like I love. There's not a single title track that I don't like. Like I just think they're all
Yeah.
really good, except like Pentagon has one I don't care for, and Oh My Girl has one I don't care for. I
What
just
is the
kind of
one Oh
forget.
My Girl song that you
Eyeing.
don't? Oh, Eyeing. Yeah, that's true.
Everyone
That
likes to
doesn't even
forget about
count.
that one.
That doesn't count because the
It's not even
feature.
that bad besides the rap
The
part.
I
feature.
know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I like it still, but I don't
Oh
remember it
no,
really.
yeah, I
Like
would
it's
have
not.
loved that song if it didn't have that feature.
Oh
But
yeah.
but yeah, so other groups, do I start with the guys or the girls? The guys are shorter, so I can start with the guys. One guy group I really like, I guess they're not really rookies anymore, but they're still rookies like in my heart. Is Golden Child. I feel like
They're
they
gonna
don't
reign
get
for
as
100 years.
yes,
I
they will.
never even heard of them before.
Wait,
Oh my
really?
god.
No, I had
They're
no
from
idea.
Woollim. So
Yeah.
Infinite and
Which I
Lovelies.
feel like
Yeah.
don't think of them as a Woolham group because
Yeah,
that is one of the
they don't
biggest
match.
that is the biggest disappointment of Golden Child is they don't have like the amazing instrumentals that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinite and Lovelies, but they do have the amazing dance. Like they are so talented, like how like in sync they are with their dancing. And I think that's what really got me interested. I don't even remember how I found them, but I came across Down
Did
Daddy
you
and
know
I was
about before KCON?
oh yeah.
Okay.
I was stoked when they were announced because they were like a last minute ad.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I was like, because they were my favorite rookies from
Okay.
that year. Like I love Golden Child so much, and I just think they're really fun because I mean I like cute, and I think I don't want to be like they're the best cute guy group, but they're definitely my favorite of the genre of cute
Yeah.
guys. Like I like them more than Dream, like NCT Dream.
Yeah.
Very has a very similar Golden Child sound. I think they're the closest to me of like the same level. Like very is like
Baron's just zoned out for
I'm
this
just I'm
conversation.
so
He's like
looking at
cute guy groups, like the
well
complete opposite. What he,
well you'll see very at KCON.
that's
So
true.
Yeah.
You would have seen
but no,
Golden Child.
yeah, and Golden Child I
Was
thought
that
was
last
so
year or
good
2 years ago?
last year.
That was last
Yeah,
year.
and I remember Donghyun waved at me, and he's my bias, so I was like, I was so ecstatic. Like I love Golden Child. I think they're so adorable. Their music's fun. Their concept's fun. It'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see what happens when they get older.
Yeah,
Like, but
that's always the question with the cute guy groups. Is like, and I mean, it's the same thing. It's kind of the same thing with girl groups, but it's more of people want them to change, not that they have to change. Because I feel like girls, even as they get older, can keep doing cute concepts. Like look at A-Pink, like they did that for 10 years. They did the like, cute, innocent, and fun concepts, and they killed it. But like for guys, it just feels weirder and weirder the older they get. Where girls, it's not. It's more of like I want them to do a more mature, sexy concept, not that they have to do it. But yeah, so yeah, that's the same thing with like, and I think that's why like NCT kind of was smart with Dream. Like they're like, okay, once they get past 18, they're gonna leave Dream and we'll rotate people in because it's weird doing those concepts with 20-year-old dudes like doing these really cutesy kid concepts. So
yeah.
So yeah, that will be interesting. I agree.
Yeah, another group I had is ACE. ACE is another kind of like rookie-ish group, and they're not really a group. Yeah, they're known for the hot pants, which I approve. I think
Is that
that
the
was
Cactus song or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
But their newest song is amazing.
Yes. I really got into them with Take Me Higher. I think that song is so like that is an example of a great guy group summer song. That was another thing I think I wanted to say in the ATEEZ review of I feel like guy groups don't really have like the classic summer song concept. Like I think girl groups do it more often.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing I kind of appreciate with ATEEZ. But like, yeah, Take Me Higher from ACE is such a good song. I don't know. If you feel good. And I think ACE is really fun. I wish I don't know, it's interesting how ACE promotes themselves. I feel like they're always on tour, but like never here. and I wish they would focus more on, you know, themselves and like getting more music out there, because I don't think they're getting quite enough attention. Maybe I really don't know how popular they are, but I think they're really good, and I look forward. I think they're just going to be one of those groups they're the forgotten group that people really love them, that know about them, but they never quite get out there.
Yeah, which is a lot of groups.
Yep. Another group I want to talk about, a guy group. I preached about this group in the Discord. They are rookies, and it's Trey.
Like, oh yeah, all three of us.
I'm on board with this.
Yeah, all three of us are on board.
Yes.
The Trey train.
Oh my gosh, like because I feel like, you know, 90% of the people listening right now haven't listened to Trey.
Oh yeah, no.
Listen,
even though
to
we
Trey.
talked about them because we found them through releases.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Trey was. I mean, I don't want to talk them up, obviously, but
No, you should. They were worth it. They deserve it.
They were such a like breath of fresh air. Because once again, like, I'm not a huge guy group fan, at least not anymore. But like Trey's 3 guys. It's oh gosh, I'm my fan. It's like 2 vocalists and a rapper. One of them, I guess, is kind of like a vocalist rapper guy, but yeah, there's one just like distinct kind of rapper, one distinct vocal, and their vocalist is so good,
amazing.
So good. His voice is just like butter. It is amazing, and it just like and so yeah, if you don't know, they're under, what is it, Banana Entertainment,
Banana Culture?
Yeah, Banana Culture. That's it. It's EXID's company. So that's the company they're under.
No, EXID's former company.
Former company, yeah. Pour one out. But no, Trey's really good. Like, that's still my favorite mini of the year. Like, it's just, there's no bad songs. It gets you just like in a good mood. Like, it has a consistency to it. So it's not like different, you know, genres. Like, it's so well thought out. I really wish they were well known. I don't think they're ever going to be well known, just judging by the concept. So I guess I don't even know how to explain their concept, but they have.
Okay, so if you like emo Big Bang, listen to Trey. That's all you need to know. They do emo Big Bang music, like old school.
But I hate emo Big Bang, and I love Trey.
You? They're not emo. That's the thing.
They're not emo, but they do that same type of song, like that sentimental, like.
And the vocals are so much better.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it kind of, maybe this is just the vocals. It kind of reminds me of Newest. Like, the instrumental, not at all the same, completely different. But like there's like powerful, like almost shouty vocals, but it really works for me.
It's just, their songs are just, they're more mellow. So don't expect you know, pop, like K-pop. Like, it is more mellow. It's chill. Yeah. Like, they're a vibe, man, and I am all aboard the train.
The train,
you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gravity is one of my favorite songs of the year, and Lady is really good too. Those are both like top 15 songs for me.
There's not a bad song on that mini. Like, I added that whole mini, I think, to my top songs of 2019.
Yeah.
You could just keep playing it like on loop and just like kind of zone out, but I mean that in the best way.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
And then I think this is my last guy group that I have is I think it's On Off, is how you say it, right? ONF.
Yeah.
They are Oh My Girl's little brother, so
ONF,
you know,
gotta represent.
Yeah, but no, they're really good too. I know
great.
Yeah, they've been talked about here on this podcast, and I think you guys reviewed their album too.
We did.
But no, We Must Love is so good. That chorus, it makes you feel something in that song. And I think that song even, because in the Discord, we did a rating of the songs from the first 3 months of 2019. And this song actually got I think in the top 5, which is pretty incredible for a rookie, or I guess more new. I don't even know, but they're not well known, and it's a guy group, and our Discord doesn't care for guy groups as a whole. So, but no, they're a very good group, and I definitely would recommend looking into them. I need to look into them more myself, but I like what I hear from them. Yeah. And then as for girls, I feel like I have a lot more for girls. The first one, it's not entirely serious, but I'm still gonna say it anyway. Nature.
Nature's great. I love Nature.
I love Nature too, but it's such a funny
they're mimi. They're very mimi.
they're not
Yeah.
the most talented. I will
No,
say that.
definitely not.
Like they are Nugu. Like
Yes.
there's no hiding that. I mean, You'll Be Mine is a banger. Like that song, that choreo is the most hard-hitting choreo you will ever see, and you'll just love them because of that. Like I don't know, I love Nature, I love Sebam, love the other members.
Stan
Like
Hard.
yeah, yeah. Like sure, they're not the best. Like I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
Like their debut was, but I kind of just love them because they're really trying. I really appreciate it. They
They've
make me
got that
smile.
like rookie energy and like
Yeah. Like you just can't help but like root for them.
Yep.
I don't think nothing will come from them probably, but I'll keep rooting for them.
Yep. I agree.
Another rookie Nugu group is Neon Punch. I don't think they really get enough attention. They don't really get any attention, and their recent song wasn't as good as their debut. Their debut was really good. Like I actually bought that. It's a pretty cool album.
That
But
intro track though.
yeah, let's not talk about that. But I think they have potential. They have a sound that I like. It was a bit of a miss this past comeback. Like I will fully admit that. I still enjoyed it. Like I like TikTok. I think that's a fun song. The dance is really fun. And once again, they're Nugu and like they've got that energy of like, they want to be, a K-pop group. And I will be there rooting for them the whole way. And then let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I found this
is leading
artist
somewhere.
What?
I feel like this is leading to a certain group with a certain ridiculous choreography.
Oh, I could go to them. Yeah, Hot Place. Yes.
TMI.
It's another group. I feel like I'm just listening to like things that I like preach in the Discord. I mean, like
basically,
yeah,
I mean that's
Trey,
basically what I wanted this to be anyway.
Hot Place, man. This group, you
So
have
ridiculous.
to watch the music video.
Yeah.
You don't just listen to the song. Watch the music video. Oh my god. Once again, the most hard-hitting, intense choreography, like even more than like you watch Nature's You'll Be Mine first.
I'll say, yeah.
And then this is like times 10.
Yep.
Like it is.
It's like so absurd, but it's like kind of endearing.
You can't look away.
Insanity.
And then the trap, like, the trap breakdown is just so good. Like I'm not a huge like trap like fan, like I don't care. But like that is just so hype. And so just I guess some background information on Hot Place is they're actually, was it Bad Kids is the original
Bad Kids.
Yeah, that's the group that they were, and it's only like one member from them, so I guess they like totally rebranded themselves and new name, new members except for one. But I mean, I love the new sound. I guess it was before they did the whole like they got to that point where they're just doing sexy songs when they were Bad Kids or whatever, but now I'm like, give me this. Like this was so good.
I had the pleasure of seeing this live at the show, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And like in a good way. I wasn't laughing at them, I was laughing with them because it's just so ridiculous. But it's like, supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like Celeb 5 almost. And the choreography is just so intense. The arms are going, the face is just in it.
Yeah.
But they're like not quite, like memey as Celeb 5 was going for.
Well, yeah, Celeb 5, I mean, it's comedians, so they wanted to go all out, where they're trying like to be an idol group.
This is like the legit, like, trying to do what Celeb 5 did, but Celeb 5 was a joke. They're like, Hot Place is serious. And it's really fun. I enjoyed a lot. Let's see, what else do I have? This artist, I found her like literally like yesterday and have been playing her song over and over.
You've talked about her so much in Discord too.
Is it just Say? I guess
Say,
Say.
Yeah,
like
Saay.
Yeah.
She's so good. Oh my gosh, her song Zigga Zigga. Oh, that is like, once again, like that intro, man. The choreography with it is just so good. And I listened to her. She had an album, I guess, last year. It was a long album. She's, I guess, a little more R&B. Zigga Zigga's not R&B. It's like kind of a Beyonce song. Like it is just like hype. Like it's kind of got like a Crazy in Love feel to it. Like I love her. And she was from a group.
I was like, what group was she from? I remember.
Was it Evo? I don't know how to say it.
Evil, yeah.
Oh,
Evil.
Evil, yeah.
Evil.
Yeah.
That group.
EVOL.
Yeah. Yes, she's
Their
from that
debut
group.
is a banger.
Really?
Certified.
Yeah, I haven't looked into the group at all, but I love her. I love her. Like, oh my gosh, she is just taken over my weekend pretty much. And
Yeah.
then another soloist I really like is Subin, Dal Subin, as she goes by, I guess now, from Dal Shabet.
Shabbat.
Yeah.
But their song Ketchup is so good. It's another one of those I'm just like,
When did Cooper join the podcast?
join?
Cooper
And-
listened to that song like 400 times in a row.
And it's sad because he talked about it so much. I just like ignored him. I feel so bad. I was just like, Cooper's just talking about a song. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
He's
And
gonna
then
be
like,
so insulted. Oh wait, he said he wasn't gonna listen to this.
yeah,
so
he's
that's
not
fine.
listening. Whatever. Who cares?
Have you listened to Circle's Dream by Subin?
I did
Strawberry.
listen.
Circle's Dream's so
No, I don't think
I
I
really
That
listened
whole
to that.
album's fantastic.
I listened to some of her stuff. Whatever was on Spotify. It wasn't a lot. But I know she has more.
You should watch the music video for Circle's Dream. It's
Yeah.
a really like fun music video.
Yeah, I definitely will. I am very intrigued by her because yeah, Ketchup is so good. Like, I think it's just it's so cool.
She has like a weird voice, but she like incorporates her voice very well into her songs.
Yeah.
Like the vibe of the song is just
Yeah.
so cool. So cool. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, this is a group that you guys can actually like really talk about, I think. Cran Pop.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, Baron helped introduce them to me. But oh my god, they're so good. I really like, they don't have a bad title track.
No, they're all good, and
Yeah.
they nail like the Nugu girl group sound. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
like perfect embodiment of it.
Like,
Yep.
I need Hot Place to become Cran Pop.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
just, like,
they're on their
ridiculous.
way of meme
Yeah.
status ridiculousness.
Yeah. Like, I highly recommend Cran Pop. I feel everyone knows them for, was it Bar Bar?
Bar Bar
Yeah.
Bar
Bar Bar
and
Bar.
Jumping. Or are
That's-
those the same? I
that's
always
the
get-
same song.
That is
Same
the
ones.
same, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
What's-
everyone knows them from. But like, check out the other stuff, like FM.
Their debut, Bing Bing.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Bing Bang, yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I definitely recommend watch the music videos, definitely. And
Oh yeah,
like,
you have to.
like you have to watch. Everyone just in the world needs
Make
to
sure
watch
you buy
the
a bike
FM.
helmet first and wear that.
But everyone needs to watch the FM music video, especially if you like Power Rangers or Sailor Moon. That is like, the whole thing is just references and totally inspired by it. It's really fun. And then what's the other one? Dancing Queen
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
other one I
Dancing Queen's the
really
other one.
love. It's so good,
Cover of the SNSD song.
but so much better.
Wow.
Whoa, slander.
Yeah, that's no.
Yeah. Okay. Geez, I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'm trying not to like go on and on.
I mean, do you want us to go in and then you can finish your list later, or what?
No, I think
wanna keep
I've
in there?
got like,
How many more do you
oh
got?
yeah, like a few
Couple
more
more.
that I can talk about kind of by myself, and then some I think you guys can definitely also
Okay.
contribute to. This one's like such a weird one, but this was something that was posted in the Discord, and like I was obsessed with it. It's like Rocket Girl, but like not like Rocket Girls, not the
Oh, it's different.
Produce 101, like
Yeah,
China
not
or
the
whatever.
Chinese. Yeah.
I'm talking about, this is a band. It's like girls, but like the whole music video is just cats, and it's awesome.
We talked about it in releases last.
Oh, did you
month.
actually? I don't think I watched it. Sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's ridiculous.
everyone should watch it if you like cats. And then this group, especially lately, is very well known, I think. But what's underrated is their early stuff, and I'm talking about like pre-Hobgoblin CLC.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm-
100%.
They were actually on my list too.
Like early CLC is just like almost the perfect cute girl group, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like no bad songs. I mean, B-sides, it's a little different,
Yeah.
but title track wise, it is like straight just like hits. But that obviously didn't work for them.
Their debut
Yeah.
is like one of my favorite debuts of any group.
Yeah. Yes, it is like a flawless debut, I think. And then yeah, the other ones like High Heels is so fun.
High heels, so good.
Yeah, Noah O is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think lumping them in is with like Sunamu is another group that like very similar like style and kind of, I mean, they were under TS, so which TS is just pretty much all of their groups can be talked about in this segment because TS is a garbage company that doesn't know how to promote groups. Oh, they'll 100% be talked about. But yeah, Sunamu and CLC definitely I like lumped together as like these girl groups that just did really good. Well, like, so Sunamu started out with a not cute concept, and then just went hardcore. But then after
actually
that,
my favorite song of theirs. But
after that, they went into more like cute stuff. And I think they did it really well too. But they just never got the recognition they deserved, I felt.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for my list. Yeah, and then I'll just also, put in Promise 9.
Promise,
for sure. Yeah.
They're rookie. I mean, they're very well loved in the Discord, but I'm sure other people don't know them as well, especially like from our experience at KCON last year.
I think they got a lot bigger with Love Bomb.
Love Bomb and Produce 48, I think, helped a lot with Yuri kind of getting some attention. But yeah, we'll see this year how well liked they are now. But I definitely would suggest Promise.
Their YouTube channel has a ton of like good content. Like they do like the hard-coded subs in all their videos, and they are like right when they released. Like it's very easy for foreign fans to like follow their group as a whole.
Yeah. Plus their music's just amazing.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. Good. Yeah, one of you guys take over now. I've talked enough.
Go ahead, Baron. We'll have a lot of crossover, so.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of overlap. But I'll start off with a general statement that pretty much any group on the show Girl Spirit can be included on this list.
100%. I talked to Baron. That's a good point. Everyone watched Girl Spirit. If you don't know what it is a singing competition show where they took 12 main vocalists from girl groups that never got a win on a music show. And they all like competed, and first place won a car. Right? I think it was a car.
Yeah, first place was a car. Second place was
a vacation with the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it had
random.
it was literally a show made for me because I follow so many girl groups, and I literally followed all 12 of these groups before this show happened, and I knew everyone on the show. But yeah, I pretty much go watch that show and then go listen to the discography of every group involved in that show.
So that's a general statement. I'll say specific statements on a few groups to mention TS Entertainment and to mention my intro to K-pop from last week. The group Secret. Secret is fantastic. They're so good. Their debut is really bad, but you can just skip that. And besides their debut song,
I feel like I was gonna say all the second gen groups that I have on my list had bad debuts, but then the rest of their stuff is so good.
Yeah, they had no idea what they were doing when they first debuted, but then they found like that retro sound with Magic, and then like they did it even better with Madonna.
They just got that funk retro sound. It did so well.
It's fantastic. And then they had like the run of like Love Is Move, Poison, Talk That, and then like I'm in Love at the end. All those are just amazing, amazing songs. Their B-sides, like a lot of second gen groups, I think are like very hit or miss, and a lot of the B-sides are not very good. But if you just listen to like they play like 10 or so title tracks, they're all fantastic.
Also, shout out to Hyosung and Jian's solos because they're all fantastic.
Yeah, Jian's like amazing vocalist. All of her songs, they're more like ballady, but they're fantastic. And then Hosung's are just all bangers.
Yeah. She's gonna come back soon, actually. Now that she left TS. Yeah, she's been preparing for a comeback like soon.
I'm excited now. I guess like a kind of a similar girl group, maybe not in terms of sound, is 5-Star from
Fiestar.
Fiestar? 5-Star?
Because it's Fiesta and Star. Fiestar.
Okay, I always said Fiestar, so I'm glad I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it is.
This is one of those things where
I've never debut somewhere in this pile.
I've never talked about them with literally any other person because nobody knows who they are.
I know who they are.
Don't know how to say the sound, their name.
Yeah.
Their first couple songs, like they try to like get IU to like feature on one of their songs, and that's how I found them because
Yeah,
they're like,
because
hey,
they were under Lowen.
yeah, they're like, hey, IU's on the song, you should listen to them, and I did, but then I stopped listening to them. But then like once they like kind of found out their sound with like the first song I really liked was I Don't Know from them, and then like from I Don't Know until they disbanded, every single song is amazing. So they're another one that like their B-sides are very questionable, but all their title tracks are just fantastic.
Yeah. I feel like that a lot of the like lesser known and like groups from smaller companies, they pretty much just put all the money into the single, so like those are usually good, but then it's not like Red Velvet where you should just listen to everything because it's all amazing. They just don't, the companies don't have the money to put the production into the B-sides as well as the album tracks, because most people don't listen to them anyway. Yeah,
exactly. And their music videos are a little bit like too much sometimes. Like they really lean into like the sexy concept. So it could be like
100%.
a little bit too much. But,
Apple
like,
Pie 100% is a little too much.
All innuendos. Yeah. Another one that is, this is actually one from Girl Spirit, is Bestie.
Yeah, Bestie is amazing.
Okay. But their debut is really good. Love Options is amazing. Their Christmas song is awful, but I mean, all Christmas songs are not very good. So
that's not true. Miracles in December is an amazing song.
True, that's a good one. Maybe some of the SM Christmas songs are okay.
I'd say Taeyeon's album, all good.
Yeah, that's true.
TTS.
Yeah. I forgot about that TTS album.
Yeah, they have a whole Christmas album. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to it.
It's not as good as the other ones.
It's not as good as the first two, but it's still good.
Yeah. And like Uji is such a good vocalist.
Yeah.
And they have like really fun dances. Very catchy. They're all like very like upbeat and just like feel good music. So that's another fun one. And then the last one I wanted to point out was Nine Muses.
Yep. Nine Muses is also on my list.
They kind of have like a very like, I don't know, rough history. Like they had like the really bad debut, and then they had like that BBC documentary made about them, and there's like a lot of problems at the company, and like a few of their songs are like complete misses. But they had like that string of songs in like 2014, maybe 2013.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a string of like 7 singles in a row that were 10 out of 10s. Like,
yeah, and
they were just so good.
The song Wild is one of my I had it like in my top 10 songs playlist because it's one of the best K-pop songs I've ever. It's like such a good song. It's my tirade against rap and female albums does not apply here. It's amazing rap. And it's one of those groups that like they like lost members and added members like all the time, and you can never keep track of who was in the group. And like by the end there was like 2 people left, but
there's 4.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But the music is very good, is my point.
No, yeah. Even once they drop down to 4, which this is a warning to all companies: never put numbers in your group name that apply to how many members are in that group, because then you get Nine Muses or Day 6, where Day 6 had 6 members for all of one comeback, and then became 5 people. And Nine Muses, just could never have 9 people. But yeah, no, Nine Muses is fantastic. Their singles, like I think even a lot of their like more modern B-sides are great too, but their singles, they had a line of singles that is fantastic, and I agree, Wild's my favorite song from them.
Yeah, you should listen to the B-side, Miss Agent. That's a great song.
I have their whole discography. I've listened to it many a time. Shy Guy's freaking out over there.
He's playing with the cord.
Oh yeah. So I'll continue. You're done, Bear? That was your list?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm surprised there's 2 very... Well, you knew I was going to talk about them, probably.
Well, I was going to mention Tiara, but like, I'm not sure... Like, Tiara was really popular,
Tiara was
and then
huge,
they had like the scandal,
but,
so like, I feel like newer K-pop fans probably don't know them.
Yeah.
But they were one of the biggest groups at the time.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like all Gen 2 groups could be... Everyone just go check out like all the big Gen 2 groups. Like if you've never listened to 4 Minute or SNSD or Wonder Girls or 2NE1, like they don't really apply here, but there are plenty of people that have never listened to them.
Yeah. I was gonna say that one solo artist I think me and Bear can definitely recommend is Sungyu from Infinite.
Oh, yes. What are you talking about? Me too. I love Infinite.
Yeah. Hey, but me and Bear talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
No, that album is so good. I mean, his other stuff before it too, but no, his
Mhm.
solo stuff is phenomenal.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love him.
And now he's in the military. And
Yep.
so for wait 2 years. It's
So sad.
fine.
Yep.
At least I get G-Dragon back this year. Maybe.
To a burning company.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll continue the trend because I have two more, well, kind of 2.5 more, because I guess I'll shout out to Delshabet because you talked about Subin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like, Delshabet was great. Be Ambitious is one of my favorite K-pop songs. It was fantastic.
Have not.
Have
remix.
not the
Amazing.
remix. The remix
Yeah.
is so good. The like retro. That's like a TR. That's a straight Tiara song right there.
Yeah, that's why I love it so much.
Of course. But yeah, that was a short shout out because they're not actually on my list. But when you mentioned Subin, I was like, yeah, they should be on this list. But first thing, I cannot not go without mentioning Rainbow. Rainbow is, in my opinion, the most underrated girl group in K-pop. They never got the recognition they deserved, and they disbanded. Their music's just fantastic. Go ahead, Sam.
I think you'll be proud of me. I listened to them yesterday, like their full discography or whatever is on Spotify. So I'm like, Nate's going to talk about Rainbow on this segment, so I'm going to listen to Rainbow.
Did you enjoy it?
No, they're very good. Yeah, like, was it Woo? Like, amazing
Woo was
song.
their debut or their disbandment. They're like their last song.
It's just one of the best songs.
Or was
like,
I wrong, Baron?
In K-pop, it's so good.
No, yeah, that's their last album. But Woo and Click from that album are both like 10 out of 10.
Yeah. But yeah, the Love Syndrome, like both part 1 and part 2 are amazing. They just had a solid career. Like, other than their debut is horrible, which
really
is like
bad.
Same thing with Nine Muses. Same thing with Secret. Like, it's just kind of how all those second gen girl groups were for some reason, except for SNSD. SNSD has one of the best songs ever as their debut, and everyone else just could not figure that out. So yeah, don't listen to Rainbow's debut. But other than that, I think their entire discography is utterly fantastic, and they never really got to the level. They were kind of overshadowed by Kara, because they're both under DSP, so they were Kara's like little sister group. And Kara got so big and just got all of DSP's resources because they're not a huge company, that Rainbow just never got the recognition they deserved. And all the members are great. Just definitely check them out. That group is one of my favorites, and they never got the shot they deserved. And then the other one I think from that group of artists is After School, which Pledis we know has ruined many a group. And After School was big, but they just kind of fell into obscurity because Pledis didn't do anything with them for the past 8 years or whatever. It's been forever.
They still aren't disbanded.
They still not. Lizzie said they were officially disbanded a few months ago, or unofficially disbanded a few months ago. So they're pretty much gone. It's just Pledis never put out the statement, but Lizzie did. So, I mean, if one of the members is saying they're disbanded, they're disbanded. Unless they come back with new class, After School new class, or something stupid like that.
They could, but they won't.
Yeah, also, all the Orange Caramel stuff, fantastic.
Exactly. Or After School and Orange Caramel. That was their subunit, and all their music's great, other than their debut. Surprise, surprise, their debut is not good.
I liked After School's Japanese stuff, but Orange Caramel's Japanese stuff is questionable.
I actually haven't listened to either of their Japanese stuff. So I'll have to check that out. As for surprise, surprise, my entire list is girl groups or female soloists. I did not have any male groups that I could think of. Although I agree, Golden Child was good. I guess I'll throw in Astro. Astro is great, but they're kind of getting bigger.
They have a fan base.
They're not huge. But moving on to my next set, I have two very similar artists. Well, a little bit different. We have Jaemin and Yuna, both utterly fantastic female soloists. So Jaemin is under SM. She's been under SM for a long time, but she mostly did She did a few OSTs and has had only a couple singles. She had some stuff in Japan, but she never really got big in Korea. I almost said in the U.S. She never really got big in Korea, but she actually does a lot of musical theater. She does a lot of musical acting.
Really?
Yeah, so that's actually why she doesn't put out so much music, is she does like acting. But she's at like pretty much all of the SM towns. So like she performs, but people don't know her. But check her out. It's more of like almost rock focused, like pop rock, female pop rock music. So if you like that type of stuff, and then that leads into Yuna, who was actually really, really big back in the day, like 2012, 2011. She got really popular. She was like, I don't want to say she was IU level, but she was like close to IU level, like big. But then she just took like a 4-year hiatus, and nobody knows who she is anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just really sad because her music is some of the best music. She, like, in my opinion, her music is IU level, like good.
Yeah.
Like her discography is fantastic.
Her like Japanese albums are all really good.
Yep, everything. And she also has that similar, like a lot of like rock influenced type stuff in there. Her newest album we gave album of the year we gave female soloist. We gave some award. I don't know. We gave that album was easily one of the best albums because it was weird. It came out in December of 2017, and so Andrew wanted to do the whole like, what was it? Is it the Oscars or one of them does it like if cut off is like November 31st or whatever. So then it even though it came out in 2017, it was on our awards this January, and it was weird. But that album, 10 out of 10 easily.
Yeah, that was my favorite album of last year for sure. Like by a pretty significant margin for me.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check out Jamin and Yuna. They're utterly fantastic female vocalists. They're like soloists. And then I'll just get a quick run through of Nugu's, because Sam can talk about these. Hashtag's great. I saw them live also at the show. They have 2 singles out. They're both great. Their newest one's it's really different. It's just like
they did a concept change.
Yeah, but even just like it's just like unique in K-pop in general. I
Yeah.
feel like the song is very unique.
And I believe it's they have a reggae song on that album. So
I have the album right here because I kickstarted or make started. You guys can't see it because for some reason there's camera issues that they can't see me, but you guys, the viewers, can see me, and I can see them. So whatever, pretend they can see me. But yeah, I'm holding up the album because I make start it. But I actually haven't listened to it yet.
There's a reggae song, so like you gotta stand them. Like reggae, man.
Yeah.
Wait, you make start them, but you haven't listened to the album yet?
Well, no, because you get the Make Start album like 4 months after it comes out or whatever.
Yeah,
so it just
that's
showed
the
up.
only way you can listen to the album.
Yeah, I know.
Is the physical
album. I can't listen to it
you
if
can't
it's not
find
in my
it
car.
anywhere else.
I can't listen to it if it's not in my car. I can't go to Spotify or anything. That doesn't make sense. But I listened to the single a lot. I just never went and listened to the album tracks yet. And then on top of that, another group that I make start, but I have listened to this album is Favorite, because Loca was amazing from earlier this year.
Yeah, this comeback is really good. That mini was very good.
Yeah, I actually really liked their stuff before. I know some people didn't, but their newest comeback, Loca, it's a Tropical House song, so a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's a Tropical House song," but like it's very different for a Tropical House song, and it's very well produced.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but like the song after Loca on the list, that one's really good too. Whatever that's called.
I'm trying to look. Like I said, I make start that as well, and I have the album around here somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
I think Loca actually did very well in our song rating as well.
Yeah, I think it was in top 10, wasn't it?
It's definitely top 20.
Top 20, yeah. Maybe it was like
11th
or something.
For a Nugu like girl group, like
and a Tropical House song.
Yeah, it's like it's like kind of like Rumor kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that kind of style.
Yeah.
So like Rumor talking about like Produce 48. Yeah, that Rumor. So it's very similar concept.
Yep. And then I have 2 groups that put out 2 of my favorite songs in 2017 and then have disappeared off the face of the earth. And that is Pop. If you
Never heard of them
never heard of Pop, it's 2017.
Nope.
They were what company were they from? They were from. Let me look this up because I need
It's
to.
one of those names that you're never gonna be able to
No,
find.
yeah,
out.
exactly.
No, pop,
Yeah.
K-pop, like that's
Exactly.
not gonna come up.
It's
gone.
impossible to search. DW, what is that company? I could have sworn that. Oh, it's because they were under Rainbow Bridge. So, Mamamoo and One Us and One We, they're in Romance, like their company. But yeah, they put
Another
out
group.
They put out one mini album that was literally every song on the album is fantastic. I think even Andrew gave that album like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because we reviewed it.
Wow.
Well, because we were excited for this new group from like Mamamoo's company, like
Oh, that makes sense.
that was
Yeah.
like, so we're like, we got to check this out, and the song was so good. But then yeah, they just disappeared off the face of it. It was October 2017 or July 2017. They've never put out anything since. And then the other one is Good Day, and Good Day
Oh, Good Day. Yeah.
was amazing. They had their Rolly Rolly was such a fun like retro song, and they did like a cool concept where all the 3 other songs on the it was a 4-song album, so I don't know I never remember if that's a mini album or a single album, 4 songs. But they did like subunits, and each of the songs was like a different style and a different unit. And Party After Party is like one of the best songs of 2017 in my opinion, which is one of the unit songs. But even Rolly was amazing too, so yeah, definitely check out. They both only have one mini album. One has 5 songs and one has 4 songs, so it won't take you that long to listen to these groups, and it'll suck because they're never going to come back probably. Technically neither of them are disbanded, so maybe they will, but
Yeah,
they
Good Day was on the unit, weren't
so
they? They had
that's the
members.
other thing is, yeah, Good Day was on the unit, and G1 finished 11th when it was the top 10 or top 9. So like one of their members got really popular, and like they got good press from that show. And then
they were one of the memorable groups.
yeah,
Like,
because they
their
had
members
plenty of people that made it very far into that show, and their company just never took advantage of it at all. So that was really disappointing.
Reached all the unit groups. to be
That's
honest.
actually they're under the same company as Yuna. So it's just weird that nothing ever came of them. But if you want to check out 2 like really cool girl groups from 2017 that hopefully will put out music sometime in the future, but probably won't because we haven't heard anything from them in 2 years, check out Pop and Good Day.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, all of these groups. So yeah, that was probably a pretty long topic, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Any
definitely.
last thoughts from either of you?
One thing I would definitely say is, people listening, please leave comments of like groups that you
Oh,
think
yeah.
that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
would
definitely.
suggest, because as you just probably witnessed, we didn't even really suggest Sky groups. I was expecting
Yeah, we
not
need
to be the
we need
only
a Cooper
one.
for this topic because Cooper knows
Yeah.
all of the new Goo Gaga groups.
And like because yeah, he'd be like, oh yeah, the boys and what
Yeah,
other groups he's
boys. One.
listens
How did we
to.
not mention One Us
Wits.
and One
Wits
We?
is the other one. Yeah, One Us.
Stream
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
like
Stream Valkyrie.
there are definitely many. Like I know I missed some that I feel like I really love. Like even girl groups. Like
Mhm.
I'm like looking at my collections, like trying to remember groups.
I
but
know.
I know I forgot some, and like I want to know more. Especially like I've really been getting into solo artists too. So yeah, please like people listening,
Holy
like,
crap!
leave comments.
How did I forget Playback? How did
I
I not
thought
mention
you were gonna say
Playback?
them. How did you not say
How did I
Playback
not-
or LaBoom or LaBoom? Whatever,
Laboom,
however you
I
say
don't
it.
like. To me, Laboom's popular, even though they're not really. But also, Baron kind of covered them from saying everyone on
Yeah.
Girl Spirit because Sobin was on
Yeah.
Girl Spirit. But yeah, how did I not mention Playback? Playback's just such a hurtful memory for me because
Yeah.
fuck Tyler Kwan.
Yeah, so yeah, either leave a comment or join the Discord and
Yeah,
Hey.
definitely join Discord.
tell us about what groups we should be listening to, please.
Yep. See, Sam's Sam's getting into this already. She's got like
leave a like while you're there. I mean,
yeah. Oh crap! I forgot. You gotta hit the bell. Yeah, exactly. I keep forgetting about this.
Just smash it.
The stupid
if we
bell
set a
that
group you like, smash it.
apparently now we gotta hit the bell because that's important. Because YouTube changed all their algorithm stuff. Okay, let's move on to topic 4, which is Sam's topic. Baron kind of got screwed out of a topic, but he really couldn't think of one anyway, so that was it. He got BI.
It's no loss.
So yeah, Sam, what's your topic? What do you want to talk about?
So my topic is on collecting K-pop because that's never really been talked about on this podcast. I thought
that's because I'm like the only one that does it really.
Exactly, and I'm just like, well, having me and Nate on the show, it's like that's totally something I think we can talk about because we definitely have, our own experiences, our tips are just like, everything. Because I mean, when I got really into K-pop, I think the community I really gravitated towards was like the unboxing and collecting part of it. Because I mean, like, you got like your reactors, you got the dance covers, you got like, there's so much in K-pop, like YouTube. And I just really got into the unboxers. Like Tina was like my god for so long because she has the craziest unboxing channel ever. I highly recommend watching her videos if you ever are thinking of buying an album and you want to see it unboxed. She's really great at just showing you the album. Yeah. And then there's others that like talk, and I like the ones that talk. Like I really like May. She also goes by Carolyn. It's M Girl Personal. She's my channel I go to. Yeah. And KDK. She's the other one I watch.
There's this person named Nate in 2017 that used to do unboxings. He did pretty cool unboxings. Especially if you really like IOI branch groups. You should check out those unboxings. He was pretty cool.
I had an unboxing channel for like 3 videos and it wasn't good.
Yeah, I didn't do very many. I don't know. I probably did like 10 or something. I don't know. You can find them on our channel. They're around. They're probably not very good, but I don't know.
It's hard to film unboxing videos.
It's really hard to film, because like for me, I don't have a good
like the camera
setup
or whatever.
Yeah, that setup is so hard, and then
I literally just set up my Surface and angled it like the best way I could, and then I just reached around it and like opened. It's so awkward to do.
Yeah, and then it's like, do you talk
I talk,
or do you just open? Because that's the 2 strategies. Because some people just kind of talk because it feels weird, just like.
Yeah, just stare. I don't like. Because I don't really watch unboxings, just because I'm gonna buy the albums I know I'm gonna buy anyway. Like I don't need to see them beforehand. And I just don't really watch too much K-pop YouTube. But the ones that don't talk always were like, to me, I was like, this is so like weird. It's just you're just flipping through a book and showing me pictures. Like it just feels uncomfortable. So yeah, I definitely think like. If someone's doing an unboxing channel, you want to talk because I would talk about the album or the group and just like
and that's why I still watch the videos. Yeah, I pretty much only watch unboxing channels of like ones that I like to hear them commentate like on the comeback on the group because I just think it's kind of a nice way to learn like more things about other groups. But yeah, I guess kind of maybe going a little more into the topic of like I can just talk about my collection first. I pulled up all the stats of my collection and it's ridiculous.
I should do that. I don't have as many stats as you did.
Yeah, well, I can send you my spreadsheet and you can enter in your information and it'll calculate it all. Because I set it up very nicely. But yeah, like I've got 84 artists. I have 277 unique albums. So that's like not counting multiple versions of the same album. And then a total of 332 just albums. And like this doesn't even like count, concert DVDs that I also have because I have a lot of those.
Mine counts DVDs, so I guess I was cheating a little bit in my numbers.
Oh, yeah, gosh, I have so many concert DVDs.
Well, I only have 3, so.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, and so it's actually really crazy to think of just how huge my collection is, and I need more shelves. So that's the other thing. That's like my big tip. If you're gonna start collecting K-pop, get shelves. Like, yeah, that too. But like, get a shelf. And like, I think both of you, like Baron, I don't think you have a shelf for yours either, right?
Well,
I just bought a shelf. It's
brand new shelf. Very good, very good. buy a shelf and put them like nicely. Like, it
Not
like breaks
piled
my
in a
heart.
giant
No,
mess of a
it breaks
mountain
my
of
heart.
albums surrounding me right now on this desk.
Like, like yeah, treat your albums kindly. Give them a home. You know,
I'm trying to buy them a home, okay? It takes a lot of money to buy a house for all my albums. But when I
Yeah.
do, it will be behind me in every episode. So you'll know when I buy a house, there'll be a very nice set of shelves and they'll all be displayed nicely.
good.
And it'll be because it bothers me too that it's like this, but I just don't have room. I don't have room
Yeah.
for these 300 albums I own.
I get it. I mean, I've started coming to that with I just use like the albums I like the more like Nugu like group albums. I just kind of stack them, and my shelves are now for like the groups I have like collections of.
Yeah.
Which like is sad. I feel bad that I'm picking groups to put on like the shelf that's like hidden, but I don't have a choice right now.
Yeah.
But I guess I can go like kind of start going into like maybe like tips for collecting, or if you guys want to talk about your collections first. Do you
Yeah.
have anything?
Baron, what do you got? Because you don't have much, right?
Yeah, so like I have
You have IU stuff.
I have like a system for whether or not I buy an album. So like I only buy albums in 3 situations. One is they're on like my best of albums list. So that's like my list of all the albums I would give like a 9 or higher rating out of 10. But there's only like 30 albums total in that list, and like half of those aren't K-pop. So I only have total 38 albums that are Korean. I also buy the albums of my favorite song of the year at the end of every year. So I have like
that's a
4 or
good
5 that way. That's that way, and that's also like a nice way to like I bought like a From Us album because I really like Love Bomb last year, and I wouldn't have ever bought like.
So you
From
bought
Us album.
Yuna's album?
Yes, I did. That's one of the
Nice.
ones I own. And then I also buy, or I collect the full album sets of like a few artists. So like right now I've completed IU's set. I'm still trying to find a few albums for Girls' Generation, and then I still need to find Cupid and Listen to My Word for Oh My Girl.
Good luck.
I know. So those are very difficult. Got to throw money.
You can do what I did. I was gonna say you could do what I did with Daya's debut. God, that was such a bad choice. But
every now and then, Cupid comes up cheap. So just wait. Be patient.
What'd you say, Baron? Though.
What'd you do to get that album, Nate?
I spent over $100 on a Daya album. I had to finish the collection.
No,
I have
get that.
every IOI branch album available, every version of every IOI, and that was it. That was the only one I didn't have, and it finally popped up on eBay for $120, and I was like, I have to. I gotta finish the collection.
I get that. I'm in the same kind of position with an Oh My Girl album. The only one I don't have is the BAM limited edition, like pink version. I need it because it's pink, and it's the one thing I don't have, and I probably never will.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
So yeah, for me, are you done, Baron, or you got more?
Oh, I was just gonna say, but the one thing is because of the way I collect those, I've ended up with almost entirely girl group and female soloists.
Yep.
So like, I didn't have a single male soloist or a male group. I still don't have a male group until I got Sunkyu's album. So like, this is my only male album I have right now, at least for Korean albums.
My collection is very skewed in terms of my physical albums. But yeah, so for me, I started, so when I first got into K-pop, it was SNSD, and I was really into SNSD. I was only into SNSD. I mean, I branched out eventually into Kara and other stuff, but so I bought all their albums, or not all of their albums, but I started collecting their albums, and I've eventually finished and own all of their albums. Not every version of all their albums, but I own at least one version of every SNSD album, single, and EP, and all of their solos.
Even that awful Run Devil Run DVD case.
Yes, that's actually one of the first ones I bought.
Yeah, that was the first one I bought as well.
So yeah, I started with them, and then I branched out in my other favorite groups. I started buying Kara albums. So I have a few Kara albums, and I started collecting A-Pink albums. So A-Pink is probably my third favorite group of all time, but they were the first group I got into at debut. So like I remember being there when they were debuting, because that was not long after I got into K-pop. I was like, oh, this girl group looks like they're doing stuff that's similar to early SNSD. Like, I'm interested in this, and I really like their debut. And so that was nice, because that was the first group I was able to actually like keep up with, and like they only had their debut, so I bought their debut and I was able to buy their albums as they came out. Where like SNSD already had a back catalog of 4 or 5 albums. Same with Kara. So yeah, but really what happened, or like what spurred me just having this giant collection, was when I went to Korea, because albums are so cheap. So my pro tip is, if you want a huge collection, just shell out the money to fly to Korea, because you'll save money in the long run. Like, sure, it's gonna cost you.
Don't think about the flight. Yeah,
it's gonna cost you $1,500 to get there and come back. But if you save $1,500 buying K-pop albums, it's worth it. So, and you get to go to Korea, so like as a bonus. But no, yeah, seriously, when I was studying abroad, there were like 2 or 3 times where I went to a music store and just bought like $100, $150, $200 worth of albums. So I just came back with like $500 worth of K-pop albums when I'm like a poor college student. And I just bought way too, and I bought like random albums. Like that's how I got Fiestar's debut. Like I brought like I like spread out my collection, which hurts for me because I like completing things, like I said.
Yeah.
And so like I just have one random Fiestar album and like a couple random like other groups' albums. Like, yeah, I have one Girls' Day album and a couple 4-minute albums, like, but I don't have all of their stuff, and I don't really want to go to get all their stuff, because it's a lot of money, and I already spend a lot of money, but yeah, so, and then also what, like, it's just kind of been a thing where now, like, when I go to KCON, like, we will always go to the music or like the store that Andrew buys his albums from, and I'll buy like 4 or 5, 6 albums there. So that's kind of like how I've grown my collection largely. But then at this point, I buy like everything from certain sets of groups. So like my ultimate groups, like SNSD, A-Pink, and then like IOI branch groups, I own everything, like I said. So I keep up with those. And then there's just other groups that like I really like now that I'll keep up with, like Frumis, G-Friend. I don't have their original like first couple albums, but I have pretty much everything since I started getting into them.
I have Snowflake because I really liked Rough.
Yeah, that's when I started. That was my first as well. But then yeah, and I have all of IU's albums because IU is one of my favorite artists too. But so for tips, so actually what I did for a long time was I would buy on eBay signed albums, and that's like a good, so yeah, we talked about this, I think, Sam, a little bit, because like I kind of stopped doing this because of it just felt wrong to me. But you can, if you really like a group, or if there's a promotional single that wasn't released physically, there are usually physical copies that'll be given to entertainment or the broadcasting companies to play on the radio, or for music, for shows or whatever, like variety shows and stuff. So you can get these promotional copies of albums that weren't released physically, or even this is just a good way to get signed copies of albums. But the problem I had with this, so like you can get, they're pretty easy to get on eBay. There's a couple really big sellers that sell them, like a lot of them. They go fast and they're kind of expensive though, so you got to keep an eye out if you really do want these. And I have a decent amount of them in my collection. But yeah, my problem at this point, like I stopped buying those because of 2 things. One, you're not actually supporting the group at all. Like you're not helping their sales, helping them get wins or anything. Like these are promotional copies that were given to companies, and those companies are just saying, screw it, we don't want these, we'll sell them on eBay just to make profit. Like it's a little shady. It's because these aren't meant for sale. Like they all say that. And yeah, so it's just companies or like people in these companies. There's like, we get 10 copies of this album, we can sell 8 of them or whatever and make a bunch of money. So it's a little shady, and you're not supporting the group at all. And then my other problem is a lot of these are actually like have like personal messages written in them to like certain producers and stuff. So like I have like a Luboom album that just has like this personal message to a certain person written in it, and I'm like, this just feels so bad. Like one of my favorite groups put all this effort into writing this nice like thoughtful note to this like TV producer, and they just said screw it and like threw it in a pile and sold it on eBay. So like I had to stop like supporting that practice, as much as it sucks to not get these promotional CDs that I want to finish my collection, but it just doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. But that is a tip I can give. Like if you do want those like rare, hard to find albums, or those albums that aren't released physically, you can get them on eBay if you keep an eye out. And I know, Sam, you did this as well.
Yeah, I have a few of those. I mean, that's how I got my Hot Place TMI album.
Yeah, it's a good way to get new groups as well.
Yeah, and I have a few. Yeah, actually, that's in my stats. I have 10 signed albums. I mean, most of them are M-Wave signed.
Yeah. That's a good way to get like.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm trying to think of? Legit like.
Yeah.
Actual signed albums, not shady copies of them.
Exactly, and I usually only get the M-Wave ones when it's all the members. Like the random member thing is just so stupid to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't see the point in it of just getting one member, and you can't choose the member unless you do like a group order thing.
Yeah.
With like, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't buy too many signed albums. Most of it's like, it's the only way I could have gotten the album because they're Nugu and didn't really like, or like I have like some alts from like those sellers you're talking about, but I don't get the ones with messages. I avoid those as best as I can because it's weird getting a message, and they have to like cross out the name too. So it's like two and then like a scribble.
And then also there's just this like giant message written in marker on your album that's like kind of ruins the front page of it or whatever too.
Exactly. Like it ruins the signed part of it. Like,
exactly.
Like it just looks like it's an album someone wrote on now.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, eBay is a good place to go if you are looking for older albums, or hard to find albums, because like you're not gonna find those on like stores just anywhere on the internet.
You kind of have to.
Exactly.
At that point, just go to eBay. Like any album that's out of print, you just got to pray that someone puts it on eBay for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it happens.
Same thing with merch. Like someone will put a super rare IOI light stick up on eBay, and I'll have to argue them down to a still insane price point for a light stick for a dead group that I'm never going to go see live. Because that's the problem with being a collector mindset completionist person. I want the whole collection to be complete, and I will spend too much money to do it, apparently.
And that's like I think that kind of leads into a rule I have, like my biggest rule of like setting rules for yourself.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Like, don't just start collect. I think this is the problem everyone has when they start collecting.
Yeah, Baron had the good idea with the 3 rules that he has.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have some sort of limitations to it, and don't just start collecting a group just to like collect a group, because like I think like Nate talked about, it's like you start getting this like feeling of like you need to get the whole collection.
Yeah, like you'll buy albums that you don't even like just because like you have all of that group's other albums, and you're like, well, I just should keep going with their albums. Like I have their collection, I should keep it complete, even if their newest release wasn't very good.
Or the album packaging is terrible and you can't put it anywhere.
IU.
It's the other thing
Palette.
that happens.
Palette's such a good album, but the album packaging, everything is so bad with it.
It's like a beautiful album, and I like
it is,
but
it's
like
so
doing
cool.
It's so long, and doing the accordion thing is so annoying.
And like you gotta like scroll out like
exactly.
A scroll,
It's.
But I appreciate it. I think it's
it's
cool,
a great
but
album, and it is beautiful. But the the packaging is so obnoxious.
Yeah.
I unboxed
like-
that. That was a pain to unbox. That was my worst my worst
I even,
experience doing an
flipped through
unboxing
it,
video.
like-
Exactly. It was. I opened it up thinking it was a book, and then it just accordioned out. I was like, "This is what am I doing?" You can go watch me unbox that. I'm sure it was super awkward, kind of hilarious.
That's funny. But yeah, like I know with me, like yeah, when I started collecting, I had like no rules. Like I pretty
Yeah,
much I went
same.
group by group. Like I started with BTS, obviously, like they were my first group. I got BTS albums. Thankfully, I didn't try to get multiple versions. Like
Yeah, that's
one
the other
rule.
problem. Yeah.
Like I'm glad looking back, I'm like, thank God I didn't try to get multiple versions with them, because I don't want multiple versions of their albums. I don't care for that for them. So
Yeah.
like one of my rules is I only have like 3 groups I'll do all versions for, and that's the ults. Like
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
thankfully Pentagon
Same.
doesn't do multiple versions.
Yeah.
Except for their Japanese stuff. That stuff sucks. But
Yeah, for me,
like-
it's SNSD, which other than the boys, because I'm not buying 10 versions, and by the time
I got
or
a
not
boy,
the
you
boys,
mean?
I got a boy, because and I didn't buy that album when it came out because that was when I took a break from K-pop, so I didn't even get any of them, and now it's just impossible to find all 10 versions. Like
I've got 3 of them.
I have Hyoyeon because that was the only copy I could get.
That's like the cheapest
Because
one.
nobody wants it. Poor Hyoyeon.
I got Sunny's for like $2.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
That was
Nice.
such a great find. Yeah. And then I got Taeyeon's one for like 20. I was like, thank God, that's actually reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't need any more.
I only do it for or IOI branch groups, Dreamcatcher, A-Pink, and SNSD. Like that's it. Oh, and I guess Luna, but not.
Yeah, Luna's such a weird.
Luna's weird because they like created their whole concept around getting people to collect stuff, but
Yeah.
I only have the 2 versions of the limited versions. Like I don't have the normal and I only have one version, the main A-side version of all the singles. Like, so yeah, you definitely gotta set those rules, and multiple versions is a big thing. You gotta make sure you set a rule for.
Only
because,
do that for your ults. Like, to be honest, like don't try to.
Even
get
then,
versions.
don't feel obligated to do it.
Yeah, like
it can get
obviously,
really expensive.
Yeah, like my Red Velvet collection, like it is my like prized thing of like my whole collection.
Yeah.
So like I own every single version of every album. I have 6 copies of Summer Magic because I have the 5 member versions, and they look so cool because they're all popped up.
Yep.
And then like the normal, and then I pre-ordered the 6 versions of their summer comeback the next week.
Well, yeah,
So,
it's like Starship and
so
Fantagio
expensive.
like have my number because both Wiki Wiki and Uju Sonio put out 2 to 3 versions of every album pretty much. And yeah, the past 4 Uju Sonio albums I've had to buy 3 copies of. They're sitting over here somewhere. But yeah, like I have 12 copies of 4 albums. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, Wuju Sonya's gotten.
They do
kinda
3
crazy with
every
their
album
versions.
now. I'm just like, Starship, stop, please. Well, because
look at what Monsta X.
I was gonna say Monsta X does
does.
4 versions
They
an
do
album,
4.
so I only do one of those. I don't do all of them because I can't.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah.
Even with Red Velvet, I have like the keynotes at their concerts. I can't watch those.
Yeah.
Like, but I have them because I need them for the collection. I have their stupid small photo books.
Yep.
They're stupid. I have all their stupid jewel cases.
The only Kino I have is OGG. That's it. That was the only Kino because that didn't come out in a normal physical copy. So.
And I'm honestly debating getting the Kino albums for Red Velvet just because that's how much of collection I need. But but then there's the Kino rookies. I don't even want to think about them because they have the member versions for the rookie ones too.
Oh, really?
Getting the rookie albums was hard enough. Like I've just been putting off the Kinos, and I'm like, I'll just get the concerts. Kinos, because it looks great in the collection.
To be honest, I really like Red Velvet, but I've never really collected their stuff because it was like too intimidating to go back and like find all the different
it's
things.
really intimidating to go back to an old group or like a group that has a long
That's
discography
actually another one of my tips is like if you want to start collecting K-pop, focus on current groups. Like
it's so much easier.
Don't make going backwards like a priority. Like make that a think you do like once a month or something. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I have like a budget thing that I do of like, I have so many hauls I do of like so many, like how much money I'll spend on them. And I usually do like a new, like current group haul and maybe like an older group haul.
Yeah.
Or like I'll just do like one second gen album a month or something.
Yeah.
So it'll build up. Like that's one of the hardest things with collecting is like the patience. Like
Yeah.
like you want to just get the whole group like at once.
Yep.
That's not going to happen. Like you have to slowly get there.
Yeah.
And
And
some
sometimes
albums,
it's not even possible. Like you just have to put eBay search alerts and just hope like that the albums you need pop up if you are trying to. Like it took me forever to finish Laboom's old stuff because they're not a hugely popular group. So like getting their first couple of singles.
Love Sign is so hard.
Yeah, it took forever to find.
I had to get that on Japan Yahoo auctions.
Yeah. So
but I got it.
You just got to put those alerts, but yeah, don't rush it because it's just not going to happen. And if it does happen, you're going to be spending a lot of money all at once. And like you just kind of got to budget yourself, like you said.
Yeah, and you'll be amazed how like they do come. Like sometimes an album will come and it'll be really expensive, and you kind of want to just like go for it. Like sometimes it's okay to just like wait,
yeah,
to see what comes. Like my Oh My Girl debut album, that album sells for over $100. Someone put it on eBay for $20 at one point, and I went, oh my god, like I got it because it's like they didn't know what they were doing or something, but like that was an opportunity of like I could have bought that for like $70 because that seemed like the lowest
cheap.
I was gonna get. Yeah, but I was like, I'm gonna wait, and sure enough, it happened. So yeah.
So, do you want to close it out? There is one last tip that I'm surprised you didn't mention, because you make a business out of it. Is you can sell your photo cards.
Like there's seriously so much more I could talk. Like I could talk about like so many parts of like collecting. But yes, one other thing, I guess it's a few other things to take into account with collecting too, is like all the extra stuff that happens. Like once again, thinking about concert DVDs, light sticks, posters, season's greetings, photo books, magazines, plushies. Like some groups have plushies. Like there's so much more. So you really
plushies.
The Big Bang has all their plushies. BTS.
Boy groups. Girl groups need plushies. Where's the Fromist plushies?
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Or give me like Red Velvet ones.
Yeah,
although there's a
exactly.
lot of like fan like
I don't
account.
want
I want official ones. Yeah. But yeah, so one of my tips is, for one, I don't buy posters. Like I opt out of posters every time because I'm not going to hang up posters.
Yep.
So I save so much money just by doing that.
When I first got into K-pop, I bought I literally, my room in once we moved out of the dorm and to a house in college, my bedroom was lined with SNSD posters, like literally wall to wall SNSD posters. But yeah, it's just not worth it. Like that's more of like, what age are you at? Because if you're a teenager or whatever, like you're in college, you're gonna put posters up. Everyone does that. So like you can get a couple posters. Plus, if you're buying albums, you just get posters if you get them when they come out anyway. But yeah, like like once you get older, it's just not really a thing to put up posters anymore.
Yeah, like the
Unless
only
you get
poster,
a framed signed one. With
I was gonna say the only poster I really have is my signed one from Oh My Girl from their concert, which I need a frame at some point. But like that poster, like that's I love that thing, even though it's still in the tube. But that to me was like the poster that's worth it. But my big tip that I talk about in the Discord, and I'm going to talk about here, is the photo cards, because that's the other thing you have to like think about. Is like photo cards are cool, and like a lot of people collect photo cards.
Yeah.
I for one will never do that because that is so expensive to do. Like that's just so intimidating to me, of trying to get photo cards on top of also buying albums.
Yeah.
Like it just gives me stress, and I don't think there's a good enough way to present them. Like I like having my collection on the shelves. See it, but no one's gonna ever really see it. But like the photo cards are just gonna be like in a binder, and it's just like not like satisfying enough for me to ever want that. So what I do is I sell my photo cards. That is a great way to make some money back. So if you collect albums and you're like, this costs so much money, get an eBay account and sell some photo cards. And if you collect photo cards, you should check out my eBay account and buy from me. I need to update it. Like
Uju Sonio's new album? Because if you get Luda, I will
Not
trade
yet.
you Yoram. Because I got 2 Yoram photo cards.
I noticed that, but I haven't gotten it in yet. I think I should be getting it in next week with the Promise ones as well.
Yep,
And I think I got Ehai's Soulite finally.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
it's
That was
a good,
literally the exact same package I had. Was 2 Promise albums and 3 Uju Sonio albums.
like I'm very excited for that haul. It's a good one. But yeah, I highly recommend selling your photo cards on eBay. It's actually not too difficult, and you'd be surprised how like some of them can sell for. I mean, I for the most part sell them for pretty cheap. I usually start them off at like a $5 auction. Usually they don't go for, like that first week. I'll bring them down to $3, and that can usually get someone to bid. I mean, even just selling them for $3, you get like it adds up. And then
Yeah,
every now and then there's that
especially-
one that just people bid on. Like my
Yeah.
TXT photo cards. Ooh, my Luna photo cards. Oh my gosh. I got those albums essentially for free because I made over like both those photo cards sold for like $20.
Yeah.
Like it was insane just watching like all of that, like how quickly the numbers are going up.
Yeah.
So, and
Plus,
then,
then
like,
you
there's-
get groups that have like twice. They give you like 6 photo
Oh.
cards per album.
JYP groups, this is another
JYP
tip
groups,
of like
yeah.
pre-ordering. Like
Yep.
it's not a necessary thing, but if you're like me, you want to get that eBay account going, pre-order albums that you want that have the pre-order benefits, like any JYP group, because you get extra photo cards. That's extra photo cards you can sell. It doesn't cost extra to pre-order.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like I do it every time. Like, oh, twice coming back, got 7, Stray Kids, Day 6. Like I get the Monsta X now as well. I get that pre-order benefit, so I can sell more of my photo cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That was probably a pretty long topic. This is a pretty long episode, actually.
It was.
So you're in for the long haul, listeners. Well, you're done. You're at the end of the long haul.
Yeah, they threw it.
But or the people, maybe some crazy person skips to the end of the episode and just listens to the very end. Who knows?
They just listen to the intro and the end.
the
They don't
outro,
care about
yeah,
anything else.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's close it up because that went long. So yeah, this is episode 125 of the DaebakCast. If you enjoyed listening to it, follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the bell. Like the video. Comment.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment on how big your K-pop collections are. And then yeah, follow us on Spotify. I think you can follow on that. And then review us on iTunes. That always helps our searchability. And of course, join our Mucho Lit Discord. Maybe one day you'll become a mod and then get to be on an episode of the DaebakCast, like Baron and Sam here. But yeah, it's a great way to come talk to all of us and just hang out. We have channels for literally everything you would ever want to talk about, not just K-pop related. But obviously, everyone's there is into K-pop, so they're all talking about K-pop a lot. Anything else I need to remember? We're going to KCON soon. Don't know what our plans are. Yeah, I mean, if you want to meet up with us, join our Discord and we'll figure it out. But we'll all be there. Including Sam and Baron, and a couple other members of Discord who we're gonna do a meetup with, probably go out to dinner or something. And that's about it. So, any last thoughts from you guys?
Nope.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, well, Andrew's not here, so we're not gonna do the whole shebang. So,
Stay
unless you guys want to
creamy.
do it, you're just throwing it
Bring
back
back
old school,
Bring back the classic.
throbbingly creamy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you and good night.
Good night.